Promotions, the Bill title Friday Fight Night. I'm joined by BCB's Dan Mole. Dan, a new venue in the heart of Birmingham. Looks a great location. There's plenty of good fights to look forward to tonight.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Paul. Like you say, a brand new venue. Same stream again as last week, where we had some really good numbers. We got really good card tonight, 7 really competitive fights. So hopefully it'll be as good in the ring as it looks out of it.
Now, Troy Jones headlines the card. Obviously, his cousin Brandon's fighting on the show as well. Talk us through a little bit what we expect to see from Troy as he steps up. It's a 6-round fight, so a little bit distance against someone very experienced in Pavel Garage, who's gone the distance to the likes of Denzel Bentley.
Yeah, absolutely. Little step up for Troy. He's had 2 4-rounders so far. Sells a ruck of tickets. Had a really good intro into the programme, having turned over with John Costello at the end of 2021. So looking forward to seeing what he's got in his bag, in his locker tonight.
And Kane Baker is in with Diego Valtierra. Kane, he made a lot of good fights in the lockdown. He took full advantage of that situation, and I think he'll be looking for another big fight next. Is tonight just about getting that win and looking impressive doing so?
Yeah, absolutely, and he's done exactly that. I think this will be his 4th or 5th fight in quick succession for Kane Baker. He's somebody that everybody loves. In and outside of the ring, he's got a really good story. He's fought on some of those big shows, and I'm sure he wants to get back on those big shows at some point during 2022. But for the time being, he's building himself, building that record. I think tonight's his 26th fight, so he'll be looking for a W to then add to that and push on from there.
Obviously, Andrew Robinson also features as part of the show tonight. He's had some good results on the road, as you say. He had that draw out in Poland that in reality was a win. Again, he's in with another tough, durable opponent, but I'm sure a big shot will be coming up for him soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew's been in with the very best in Britain. He sees himself as one of the best in Britain still. He went out to Poland and, like you say, got a draw against Damien Jonak, having beaten him previously. So wants to get a win under his belt and show the British public what he's all about.
We're also seeing Liam Hare in action tonight against Josh Hodgins. Again, Liam is starting out in his career. Again, he's in with a guy who's only ever been stopped once. Expect him to go the rounds tonight?
Yeah, he probably wants to get the rounds in as well, Paul. He's at that stage of his career, like you say, learning his craft, learning on the job. Needs to get some rounds under his belt as he looks to progress.
And we've got an interesting debutant in Cliff Henry tonight, 40 years old, ex-Army, making his professional debut. We talked on the podcast last week about things that we wouldn't be doing at 40, but massive respect to Cliff. But he's in with Ben Thomas, who's a good amateur fighting out of Manchester. Could be a really interesting test for him to get himself started.
Yeah, it could be. I'm 42, so I'm not going to say that 40's old, but it is old to turn over. But that's what Cliff wants to do, and he's going to be, I think it'll be a little bit of a baptism of fire for him tonight. I've seen him backstage. He's got his skipping rope out. He's getting himself psyched up for it, but as you say, Ben Thomas had a really good amateur career, so it's a tough first test for Cliff.
And Sean Cooper in with Des Newton. Des, who we know really well, obviously been involved on many BCB shows. Sean, who's been in those big fights, again, another fight to keep him busy.
Yeah, that's going to be a really entertaining fight, I'm sure it is. Like you say, Des Newton, one of our BCB fighters from down in Plymouth. He's on TV shows week in, week out. He's durable. He'll be a tough test for Sean, and it's a chance for Sean to get some rounds in. He's learning under Martin Gethin from a training point of view, so chance for him to get some rounds under his belt, get a W, and hit a bit like Kane Baker, who's working under Spencer McCracken Jr. now. Chance to just push on and see what the next fight will bring for him.
And the final fight on the card sees Troy's cousin Brandon in with Elvis Dube. Elvis is 106th fight, an amazingly durable man. But again, another good, important 4 rounds for Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely, and like you say, Elvis Dube is as durable as they come, and Brandon Jones, like his cousin Troy, is at the very start of his pro career, but has looked really impressive so far. He's got a stoppage under his belt early doors. I don't think that'll be the case tonight. I don't want to jinx anything, but Elvis is as tough as they come. So another learning fight for Brandon, and that's what a lot of these fights are tonight. Learning fights in a competitive environment as boxers on the home side of the bill look to just progress.
Absolutely. So the action will be starting very soon. So we've also got Adam Harper on the commentary. So please fire your questions and comments over in the YouTube chat or directly to us on Facebook. Dan, we'll catch up with you shortly.
Thanks, Paul.
I'll go get my weight down again. Yes, ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and a very warm welcome to the Eastside Rooms here in Birmingham. We have a great night of boxing lined up for you this evening, and it's all brought to you courtesy of Errol Johnson and BCB Promotions. Sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, your steward in charge this evening is Tony Hedges. The referees are Kevin Parker from Newark and Chris Dean from Birmingham, and your timekeeper for all of this evening's bouts is Tony Bankery from Shrewsbury. Tonight's sponsors are Alliance Scaffolding, Jobsworth Recruitment and GPW Consulting. We start your action with a 4-man contest in the light heavyweight division. So please welcome your first boxer from Liverpool. It's the Baltic Bomber, Krajetski.
Thank you to those guys just joining the live stream. I'm Paul Webb and I'm here with former English champion Adam Harper. Adam, busy night of fights tonight, plenty of action. As we talked to a minute ago with Dan, there's plenty of experience for the home corner to get through, as well as a couple of potential tricky ones. Great to have you with us, and what are you looking forward to seeing this evening?
I'm looking forward to seeing a couple of the boys on, in particular Liam O'Hare. He's the lad who lives down the road from me, full of energy, come forward fighter. I think he's going to bring it tonight. He's been telling me on the phone he's going to bring a bit of boxing skills with it, but also Kane Baker, can't wait to see him back in action and see the improvements, and to Spencer McCracken Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring from Birmingham, Andrew Robinson.
First fight up for the evening, Andrew The Animal Robinson takes on Gennady Krajetski. Krajetski's fights out of Liverpool. Some of you may have seen him in with Tommy Fury last year. Andrew Robinson has had a very impressive career. You know, he's had some great wins on the road, and he was very unfortunate last time out in Poland to come away with just a draw. Adam, you have to think that this is a keep busy fight for Andrew, and he's hoping to line himself up for another shot of some kind.
Well, from what I believe, Robinson's got another shot at John Ack. I think they want part 3 after the first 2. Listen, Robinson's a veteran to the game. He's been in it a long time, and he's been telling me on the phone in the week he's made massive improvements, and I think it's DNA or Danger Gym. He said he's fitting in the new gym and he's improving all the time. So he said we're going to see a new improved Andy Robinson, and he seems pretty enthusiastic about it, Paul. And he said that he's going to it's a keep busy one for John Ack, and he's going to get over there and do a number on John Ack in the 3rd fight.
Our first fight of the evening about to get underway. Plenty more action to look forward to. For those joining on YouTube, as I say, do fire your questions and comments over to myself or to Adam.
Now I'm going to say something to it. I'm going to say that Andy Robinson punches a lot harder than his record suggests. I've done endless amounts of sparring with him, boxed him in the amateurs, and his record doesn't tell the true story of his power. I mean, he's had a couple of knockouts where he's knocked kids out cold, and yeah, he bangs a bit harder than his record suggests, that's for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, this round is 4 preliminary rounds in the light heavyweight division. Brought to you courtesy of Errol Johnson and BCB Promotions.
And as ever, Andy Robinson's got in tip-top shape. He's got a body that looks like it's been carved out of marble, always in tip-top shape.
It's just like looking in the mirror, looking at Andrew for me.
I wish I could say the same.
8 ounces. Tonight, he takes part in his 28th professional contest from Liverpool, the Baltic Bomber, Gennady Krajetski. And the person across the ring, boxing out of the red corner, he wears the black and white camouflage shorts, official weight 12 stone, 3 pounds, 8 ounces.
Quite heavy for Andy Robinson, normally campaigning at 11 stone 6, so he's coming over the super middleweight limit there.
Yeah. 37 years of age even. Do you think that's possibly just giving himself a bit of time before putting himself into pressure to make weight for that next title fight?
Yeah, well, do you know what, Paul, I'm going to say it here. I think it's pretty pointless having to cut yourself down to championship weight all the time. If it's not a championship fight, or it's a pretty meaningless fight, it's just a keep busy one. he shouldn't have to drag himself back down to that title weight, because it'll take a lot out of someone like Andy Robinson, who's a big boy for the weight anyway.
This one's scheduled for 4.
The Animal against the Baltic Bomber.
Yeah, Krajetski, who relocated to Liverpool, and he's been fighting out of there for some time now. As I say, plenty of experience on these shores. Very rarely gets stopped. As I say, I think he's been stopped once in the last few years, and that was Tommy Fury in the second round.
For the first round.
Now Robinson has told me he's going to come out and show us a few boxing skills here. So I think he wants to get round under his belt in preparation for a third John Ack fight, and just focus on what he's been working on in the gym with DNA. So we might see a more skillful version of Andy Robinson tonight.
Yeah, Robinson's 33rd bout of his professional career. As I say, like so many boxers, I think the pandemic possibly took a little bit of time away from him, and he probably would have got the trilogy wrapped up a bit quicker. But
well, I think Robinson had like a year delay for the Williams fight, albeit it didn't go his way. He had like a year, chopping in some good hooks in there. He had like a year delay on the Williams fight, so he's kind of keeping busy with these kind of fights in between. So it kind of put a halt on his career, and the ripe old age of 37, he doesn't need that kind of delay. But he's just displaying some nice 1-2 straight down the middle, some nice straight shots.
Talk a little about the challenge, obviously going in with someone who is sort of very defensively minded, as Krajetski is. Again, it's about being patient more than anything else, isn't it?
Yeah, well listen Paul, I'm not the biggest of punchers, as we all know, no stoppages on my career, but yeah, it's tough. These guys are in here week in, week out, and they're just here to survive. They're not going to get, if they get stopped, they don't get work the next week or the week after. They get a 28-day suspension. So these boys are coming here to survive, so they can be back out next week and make their money. So it's always tough to try and put someone over who's not there to really be put over or to be stopped. He's just here to survive, and that's his job, and it looks like the Baltic Bomber's doing that tonight, and that'll be his ambition.
Yeah, Krajetski covering up well early on. Andrew missing a little bit wildly with the left hand over the top.
Yeah, Robinson's he's displaying some nice straight shots in there, and a few nice little hooks into the body, a couple of little shovel uppercuts into the body. But like he said in the week, he just wanted to get rounds in the bank under his belt, ready for the John Ack third fight, and this will be valuable ring time. Paul.
Yeah, scrappy work there, referee separating them as both men look to hold and catch a little bit of an early breather.
When I spoke to Robinson, he did seem a little bit rejuvenated, and sometimes that change can do that for you. I mean, he had a rough time waiting for the Williams fight, and then it really didn't go his way, so a change has probably given him a new lease of life essentially. But he's got to get through this one first to see the next John Ack fight after the previous draw.
Yeah, combination there from Robinson, nothing particularly landing clean. Krajetski covering up well. Right hook to the body, more of a cuffing punch than a slightly wild left hook there from Krajetski, or left uppercut should I say.
Paul, I'm going to say to you now, these fights are tough to get up for. If you're a contender or someone like Robinson who's won a couple of titles, been in big fights, these fights are difficult to get up for. Maybe that's another reason for his weight being a bit higher than it is, because it's not easy to get up for the kind of fights where the opposition is solely here to survive. They're not going to come and try and have a pop at you. They're not going to try and throw anything back really. So it's tough to motivate yourself day in, day out, diet all the time when this is a kind of response you're getting off your opponent. So this is, I guess, where you've got to remain professional during camp to try and get the best out of yourself. But it's difficult when you've got a man opposite you who's not willing to engage or even give you any form of openings.
Yeah, that's the challenge facing Andrew tonight, is about making those openings and creating those opportunities. As we say, the first fight of tonight's card, plenty more action to come as the night goes on. Both men exchanging jabs early in the second.
Good bit of head movement now by Robinson, slipping and sliding out the way of the Baltic Bomber.
Good left uppercut inside there from Robinson, and looking to switch back downstairs to the body.
You know, Robinson has had a couple of good wins. I think it was me and yourself that were commentating against Nick Gemman when he was trained by Malcolm Malvin, and he got a good win for the IBO Continental, I think, in this very city of Birmingham. So he's back again.
Yeah, brief exchange from both again. Very landed a cuff in left hand there. And Krajetski, a decent right hand from Robinson, probably his best punch he's thrown so far tonight.
Yeah, it's just difficult, isn't it? Because Robinson's the only one who's engaging. You know, the Baltic Bomber just really doesn't want to engage. He's just doing everything within his power to get on the back foot and get out the way. So it's going to be a hard night for Robinson, but again, this is about remaining professional. Hands up, chin down, do what you got to do, and just get through to your next mission, which will be Damien Jonak, as long as he gets to win here, which he's on course to do, but don't want any slip-ups and don't want to get sloppy.
Yeah. Left hook to the body lands there. Could potentially be a decent punch. And a big left hand.
Lovely.
And he has Krajetski wobble there. Referees letting the action continue. He's not called a knockdown.
Robinson's just had a look at him. He probably wants to get the rounds in here, but double left hook to the body, left hook upstairs.
Yeah, right into there. Interesting there from I don't know if it was from Robinson, whether he was expecting the referee to call it as not a standing 8, because that's not really something that we get in the UK, but whether they've deemed that the ropes kept him up. But I suppose the referee kept him up more than the ropes.
Yeah, I think Robinson was doing a bit of showboating, looking at him with his muscles glaring, but you know, the Baltic Bomber lucky to be still standing here.
Yeah, and he's switching southpaw as he throws a rather loose looking left hand out there, and he goes back into the orthodox stance.
But Paul, again, I told you from the start, Robinson hits a lot harder than his record suggests, and he can look quite robotic when he boxes, but trust me, when you're in there with him and you've got this quite beast of a specimen throwing shots at you, it's quite a daunting task to be in front of.
His confidence is growing here, Robinson, as the round progresses, and he's landed a couple of good nice little flurries.
He's just starting to break him down now, isn't he? I think if he really wanted to step on the gas, he could probably have him out, but he's getting rounds in the bank. And
Krajetski, you can tell, still hasn't quite got his feet under him from that early wobble, and he takes another big right hand and another one inside.
He's looking to go now, Paul, in my opinion. He's on unsteady legs, and this is in Robinson's hands how he deals with this. The ref looks like he's ready to jump in.
Both men trading shots there, and that's not Krajetski's fight, is it? That's not what he wants to be doing. Good round there from the animal.
Yeah, Robinson looking to show some improvements, a bit of head movement, some good straight shots. I think at times he still leaves his chin up in the air a bit after he throws shots, but from what we've seen so far, is looking good. The double left hook to the body and head worked really well, and it near enough had the Baltic Bomber into the ropes. And like you said, should it have been a standing 8 count? That's a debatable question, but he's on his feet, and will Robinson look to capitalise and end this fight in the 4th round, or will he just try and get the rounds under his belt again?
I've got to say, I'm unsure where the rule sits on that. When you've got effectively the referee has kept him up, so I suppose it can't be deemed that the ropes have done so. So if the referee just deemed there's no obstacle in the ring, so that's why he hasn't called the count. Can't say in all the fights I've been to, I can't say I've seen a knockdown like that.
I'm baffled myself here, Paul. Oh, round 3 even, so I thought we were on round 4 there.
Yeah, round 3 of this one, scheduled 4-4. After a quiet opener, an impressive second round from Andrew Robinson.
Well, I'd like to think Robinson could really finish this if he wanted to, but again, I don't want to sound like a broken record. He may just be interested in practicing what he's been working on in the gym. He did say him and the DNA gym have been working on some specifics, and he's going to show that in this fight. And for all we know, the double left hook could be one of the moves he's been working on. It looks like he's been displaying it a lot in this fight, and the straight shot selection's been good.
Yeah, just as you said that, the left hand lands, and again he's starting to physically dominate Krajetski. As I say, Krajetski rarely stopped, but when he was, it was a fairly conclusive stoppage from Tommy Fury.
Robinson's an imposing figure, he really is when he's in front of you. He's a man mountain. Got a body, like I said, that looks like it's been carved out of granite, and like I keep saying, when you're in there getting punched continuously by a man who does hit a lot harder than his record, it does make you think twice about letting your hands go and coming forward into this kind of fight. Good head movement by Robinson there. He's evaded a few punches.
Yeah, good movement there from Robinson, as I say. Managed to get his shots off and then ducked everything that was coming in return. As I say, confidence is certainly growing in this one. But Krajetski's managed to avoid anything heavy this round.
Yeah, Robinson looks just to be working on what, the game plan may be. Just everything behind his jab. He's thrown in some lovely hooks off the jab, and I'm more impressed with Robinson's head movement today. He's evaded a lot of shots, and sometimes in the past, especially in his early career, there was a lack of head movement with Robinson, but he seems to be polishing up on his boxing skills and
using that left hand really, really well. Again, as he has Krajetski pushed up against the ropes. And another big right hand. Robinson. Andrew kind of looks up, acknowledging his own shot. He certainly isn't jumping in, Adam, when he's got his man hurt. He really is picking his shots.
Yeah, and this is a different Andy Robinson, because maybe in the past in sparring, when it's got a bit hostile, or at the beginning of his career, he was quite, I don't know what the word I want to use is, but he's quite wild at times, and he would just throw big bombs in and try and bomb everybody out. But he's a bit more calculated this performance, and
really nice work inside there again from Andrew Robinson.
Chopping down with that left hook on top of the temple.
Yeah, Krajetski just seems to be struggling to get that right hand up. Another big right hand. Krajetski's trying to get on his bike, but it's not a big ring, and he just seems to be struggling to get out of the way.
Well, Paul, if I was in Robinson's corner, I'd be happy with what I'm seeing in my fighter, albeit the Baltic Bomber isn't a way fighter, a journeyman. He's here and he's doing his job, but Robinson's putting on a very nice boxing display, and he's showing us a very good selection of punches, and his head movement and his movement, I've noticed an improvement, and he seems to be on all cylinders, firing on all cylinders tonight. But again, we've got to look at the opposition in front of him.
Yeah, an impressive start from Robinson, and he's if you are looking at bigger and better fights, you have got to impress against this level of opposition, and so far he's been good. So the first fight tonight, we've got plenty more action to go, as we touched upon earlier. Likes of Kane Baker, Troy Jones, Liam O'Hare, Sean Cooper, Brandon Jones, all in action, as well as the professional debut of Cliff Henry.
Seconds out for the fourth and final round.
The final round of this one. The first three have flown by. Let's see if Andrew looks to step up and try and force that stoppage.
Out with a big left hook right hand straight away, and he's firing some big hooks in.
Yeah, he can't miss with those power punches at the moment. He's sort of abandoned his jab, Robinson, now, and he's landing a large amount of left and right hooks.
Robinson landing with some big power shots there, and you've got to question if the Baltic Bomber can keep going. But again, Robinson does leave his chin up in the air. And we talk about future fights when he will be against John Aku, albeit is coming off a loss and a draw to Robinson. He's still got he's still a world ranked opponent, and he can't be doing this against someone like a John Ak.
Yeah, I think he senses blood a little bit there now, and he's not worrying too much about his defence, and he's trying to get those punches together to get his man out of there. Right hook to the body early in that little exchange, I think took a lot out of Krajetski.
Paul, my overall assessment of this job is that Robinson has put on a good display. His boxing looks like it's been a bit of an improvement, but again, you've got to emphasise he's against a man that's not showing a lot back. But I'm impressed with what I've seen by Andy Robinson and what himself and the DNA gym have been working on. Just be nice to see a little bit more head movement and his chin down when he's letting his hands go, because he's leaving his chin right up in the air.
Yeah, he looks confident in there, Robinson. As I say, he's utilising the single shots.
Robinson, an electrician by day, Paul, owns his own business, family man as well, so he fits all this into a pretty busy schedule.
Yeah, it's always impressive how guys can work full time, and then they're spending the evenings in the gym training hard. Yeah, good left hook to the body. There's a big in, take a breath there. Looks like Krajetski will survive the four, but he knows he's been in with it. He's in with the difficult.
Big shots there.
Yeah, big left hand inside. As the seconds equal away in this one. Again, Robinson probably, I think he's gone quite power shot heavy, but that's because the landing, I suppose. Adam, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I agree. I do think he's looking for it a bit too much, so Paul, and that may be his undoing eventually, because he's probably losing a bit of power where he's a bit tensed up and he's trying to look for it too much, especially that left hook. And that can also be an issue sometimes as a fighter. If you land that one shot early doors, you start looking for it for the rest of the fight, and then it starts to disappear.
Final seconds of this one. Both men punching to the final bell. Decent showing there from Robinson.
Yeah, I was impressed with that, Paul. Good performance, showed some good boxing skills, good bit of foot movement, moved his head at points, but the Baltic Bomber was tough, and he gave Robinson some good rounds there. He definitely came and earned his money tonight.
Yeah, Dan Moore will be catching up with Andrew Robinson shortly. As I say, in the comments, just asking when Sean Cooper will be fighting. So we've got 2 more fights and then Sean will be on. So if I was to guess, I'd probably say 8:15, 8:30 possible. But we'll keep the stream locked, and you'll see him in action shortly.
Robinson dressed in camouflage, that's his go-to ring attire. He's gone for the snow camouflage this fight. I like it, Paul.
It's freezing cold outside, so it's season appropriate.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, the referee Christine scores the contest 40 points to 36 for the winner, Andrew Robinson!
Robinson takes it, 40 points to 36. Moves on to 26 wins and his record with 5 losses and 2 draws. So the former Midlands champion will now hopefully get that trilogy of fights.
All I will say, Paul, is this could be his last big effort for another big title against John App, because like you said, at the age of 37, he's definitely on his last chapter in his boxing career, I'd say. So, from now on is a very important time for Andy Robinson, and a win against John Ack is a must over in Poland if he wants to continue as a contender and a champion.
You know, he's making worse. Won't do you any favors? Shout out to boss man, long-term neighbors. I'll go close to my fellow neighbors. If he did, I'll be like, who would ain't favors? Wow, couple man talking. Not gonna say out loud. Just came out of the blue. I don't mean no doubt. I'm all ready. But I'll come from the crowd. Who says we ain't the best in Britain? Who says we ain't the best in Britain? Who says we ain't the best in Britain?
Andrew, congratulations, a real good performance against a tough opponent. He took virtually everything you could throw then tonight.
Yeah, but what did you say, Zarmi?
He took virtually every shot you could throw at him tonight.
Yeah, he could, to be honest. I didn't want to take him out, I was just looking to hurt him, punish him, but not finish him. I want to get the rounds in me before I go back to for the trilogy against John Ack.
You could absolutely tell that you were trying to get those rounds. Because like you say, there's a few times he looked hurt, and the animal that I know, I was expecting you're going to pounce on him, but you wanting to get those rounds in. Was that really important to you tonight?
It is, yeah, because I've got nothing to prove. I mean, I'm knocking people out in the gym, you know what I mean, with 69 gloves. I know what I can do, I know I can knock people out, so I'm not here to do that. It's about me now, and I come here to get some bit of round time, practice some of the things we're doing in the gym, all ready to go back to Poland, where I know I'm going to have to knock John Ack out to get the win and go on to better things.
So how pleased were you with that performance then, and what you did tonight?
I was pleased because I showed myself I can, go follow a plan, 2 instructions, and I can keep my composure. You know what I mean? The old animal would have took him out easily, but I'm at the next level now, where I can be composed, and everything's great. I'll be honest, I'm just so happy now. I'm ready for Poland.
I'm sure the animal's going to eat after this, but then, like you say, the focus is Poland. You've been out there and you've won. You've been out there and you've won, but it was a draw, and now it's time to go out there and make threes a charm.
But that's it, I'm going out there strictly to knock him out. You know what I mean? I'll show what today I can do. I wobbled him about 4 or 5 times today. He's holding the back of his head 3 or 4 times. But, you know, when that happens to Jonak, which it will, and I put 20 seconds, I'm going to take him out.
Andrew, well done tonight.
Thank you, no problem. Thank you.
Talking the next boxer making his way to the ring from Bolton, Lancashire, Ben Thomas.
Thanks, Dan. Second fight soon to be underway. Now, this is an interesting story, Adam. Cliff Henry.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about him and what he's doing at 40 years of age.
Cliff Henry. I was on the phone to Cliff this morning in my car. Hereford lad in the army. I think Hereford's quite army. It's like an army base. Yeah, it's a major base there. So he's in the army still. He's in the infantry. He said he only had 11 fights in the amateurs, won 7, and he just fancied his crack at turning pro. A very articulate man. I was going to say young man. A very articulate man. Spoke very politely. Said he's just going to try and go as far as he can, get an area title as his plan. And he just said he was very grateful for everyone that bought tickets. And he's bought quite a few up here from Hereford. He sold a few tables. But I can't emphasise, he's a lovely kid. He's a nice lad. He spoke very well on the phone. But listen, Ben Thomas, who I thought was under the Kieran Farrell banner, he may be managed by him. Ben Thomas was also in the Navy, I believe, as an amateur. Don't quote me, I might be wrong. But I'm sure I've seen Ben Thomas and he was a Navy boxer. This kid's dangerous as well. So this could be a great fight for a debut. This is a tough ask against Ben Thomas. Definitely, this could go either way, and I'm being deadly serious. I'm calling it now.
Well, as you alluded to there, he's certainly got plenty of support. He's also got PJ Rouse in his corner.
He told me tonight he wants to put on a show. He said it's entertainment, and that's what it's about. He said he sold 100 tickets. He's coming to entertain his fans and everyone that supported him. So I wish him the best of luck. I told him to enjoy it. He won't forget his debut. No boxer does. But like I keep saying, he's up against Ben Thomas. That's not the kind of debut you really want. He's a lively character.
Yeah, Ben Thomas, a good amateur himself. As I say, with the amateur ruling about 40 being the limit as boxing as an amateur, it's why we've also seen other boxers who've done the same turning pro to late when the amateurs draw the curtain on your career at 40. That makes sense. You have to put a line on it somewhere, don't you?
And you know, Paul, that's exactly what Cliff Henry said to me today. He said he would have carried on as an amateur, but like you said, they drew the curtain, so he's come over to the pro game, and this is his first night on his hunt for an area title, which will be a Midlands light heavyweight title, he said.
Well, he certainly doesn't look 40. He does look in good shape.
I told him the same actually earlier, Paul, and he laughed on the phone and said thank you very much. This will be a good fight. I really don't know what way to call it because Ben Thomas is dangerous. I guess it all depends on what ambition Ben Thomas comes with to how it unravels, but both boys have got the ability to probably turn the fight on his head.
This one's scheduled for 4.
I want to say Ben Thomas is an ex-Marine.
Cliff Henry in the white shorts with the red trim, Ben Thomas black shorts.
Quite a cagey start here.
Even with the amount of fights, there's got to be a bit of nerves. First ever professional fight. It's a few years since your one. I imagine there must be some excitement and nerves mixture, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely a bit of both in there, Paul. And when you've sold tickets and you've not been under the bright lights, you've got your vest off for the first time. It's all of those kind of factors that add up to a bit of anxiety in there. But he looks well schooled for someone who's only had 11 amateur bouts. He looks like a well schooled boxer.
Yeah, got that switch hitting style that you've seen early on, switching from southpaw to orthodox and back. A couple of right hands, but nothing clean particularly landing there.
No, he looked to hold inside himself there, which shocked me because he delivered a double jab right hand, and then he wanted to hold on to Ben Thomas. I thought he'd wanted to do a bit of work, but
both fighters getting a bit of a telling off for not listening to referees' instructions. Well, a left jab really from Henry has Ben Thomas down.
I want to say that was balance. It looked like balance to me, Paul. It'll be hard to see about a replay, but it looked like balance. Ben Thomas didn't look like he was in any pain. He looked a bit annoyed that he'd gone down off a jab.
Yeah, he shook his head there, didn't he? It's almost a bit of frustration at himself, but that just showed it was a quick left hand, and whether it was a tangle of feet, again, we'll have to wait for the replay.
But if Ben Thomas has got any desire to want to win this fight now, he's going to have to come out rounds 2, 3 and 4 and really pull it on Cliff Henry and look to change the fight. But if I was Ben Thomas, I'd look just to get moving around now this first round. He can't really win the round. He's been down. He's better off just getting behind his jab, moving his feet.
He's got fast hands, Henry, when he has let his shots go. Thomas is really struggling to close that distance, and he's been caught again walking in.
Henry, quite an awkward character. When he turns southpaw, it looks almost quite unorthodox. He doesn't really know what he's doing himself.
He's almost very square on, isn't he, in that southpaw stance, rather than with a lead foot as such. He goes very square, very small target, but he is slick. He does move well, and I think Thomas might have to have a bit of a regroup, a bit of a rethink in that corner.
It's been an impressive first round for Cliff Henry. He'll be happy with this, and his coach Tony from Hereford Academy, he'll be happy with this first round as a professional. But ultimately there is still 3 rounds where Cliff Henry's going to have to look to keep going and try and build on that first round knockdown. Both boys in great shape.
First round of that one, first round of his professional career, and it's a 10-8 round for Cliff Henry.
I was impressed with that, Paul. I really was. He came out, kept his composure. It doesn't look like the occasion's got to him, and he's done everything he needed to do. Box behind the jab. He's done a bit of switch hitting. Looks like he's really enjoying his occasion tonight.
The east side conference centre here in Birmingham starting to really fill up now. Nice venue in the heart of the city.
It is a nice venue if you're a spectator and walking distance to the big city to go and get, a bit of nightlife after, or a local hotel or restaurant. Good pick by BCB today.
Second round of this one, I say scheduled for 4. It'll be interesting to see how Henry follows that up. After he had Thomas down with a left jab, which was almost caught him off guard more than anything else. I think it was really the power of the shot, but it was just very well timed.
Yeah, I agree there, Paul. Well timed jab. It almost seemed like it caught him at the right time as Thomas was moving. His feet got tangled and he came over. For me as well, it's about how Thomas comes back from this. If he's looking just to manoeuvre his way through the fight so we can box again next week, or if he's coming with a bit of ambition, he's probably going to have to start letting his hands go sooner rather than later.
Left hook to the body there, and Thomas looks to clinch. Well, actually, I say that Henry really sort of initiated the clinch, didn't he?
It's quite an unusual manoeuvre he's doing. He's almost punching his way in, and then when he gets in, he's tying up Ben Thomas when he's on top of him, and he could be doing a bit more work.
Yeah, and that's where he's taking that sort of half a step back, isn't it, and giving himself a bit of distance.
Yeah, not overcrowding himself. And
referee gives him a warning as the head's coming a little bit close. And we're just falling short of that jab. I think Thomas has sort of got him to a bit more of a regular movement now, hasn't he? He's kind of away, but again, a decent shot gets through there as he switches southpaw again.
Yeah, until he got caught with that, it looked like Thomas had found his distance a bit better.
Just caught a little bit flat-footed there.
Now listen, I like what I've seen with Cliff Henry, but I do think it would be better with a bit more work, a bigger work rate. Does seem to just be doing the bare minimum to win this bout, which he is winning. He's winning comfortable, but it'd be nice to see him put a bit more into it, I think. But he is looking impressive.
Right hand there, and better movement there, as you say, gets the punch and then takes a step back and lands another right hand as he switches southpaw.
Yeah, do you know what, Paul? Maybe I've got egg on my face there. I'm telling him he needs to do a bit more, but he's hitting and he's not getting hit. That is the noble art of boxing, and he is doing that to a T today.
Yeah, Thomas just can't quite close that distance, can he? Missing with the jab.
It's a nice lateral movement from Henry.
Right hand to the body, just brushes off the elbow.
a lot going on in these rounds at the minute. Henry seems to be just working when he needs to, and Thomas is literally just manoeuvring around and punching the very bare minimum.
I think in Thomas's defence after that opening round, I think it may be a case of getting himself settled back in, and I suppose it's the emphasis is on Henry now to press the action. Right hand to the body lands.
See, now for me, Ben Thomas is showing some lovely feints, but he's not delivering anything after the feint. So he's giving us a feint, and then he's not giving Henry anything to think about.
Another Henry round.
A few compliments from the crowd today saying Cliff Henry, the ripe old age of 40, is looking smart, he's looking quite tidy in there, switch hitter, hitting and not getting hit. I did argue that I believed he should be throwing a few more punches, but who am I to say that when he's not taking any shots. Paul, I also want to say the current Birmingham boxing scene is booming. You've got the Olympics, you've got Galal Yafai, Ben Whittaker, who is, for me, the next best thing. And then you've got, John Pegg stable, Errol Johnson stable. You've got a lot of good things going on in the Midlands at the minute. It seems to be booming.
Yeah, certainly does. Plenty of cities, plenty of fighters, and some really good gyms and trainers, as you say. So, third round of this one. Let's see if Henry can look to push the action again. I think when he gets Thomas sort of caught with his back against the ropes is where his better work has been, but
I'm not going to be too critical this round because he hasn't taken, he's probably not even taken a handful of shots, Henry, and he's manoeuvring at his own pace, and he seems to be enjoying it.
He's got fast hands. We alluded to it earlier in the fight, and he certainly does. He's just about picking the shots better, but when he does let his hands go and throws those little short, sharp combinations, he does it with a bit of speed.
Thomas just manoeuvring around to his left, and if Henry realised this, he could maybe cut him off a bit better or throw someone in that direction to prevent him going that way, but Thomas definitely favours manoeuvring to the left here and nothing's stopping him. I'll be looking at cutting off.
Thomas looking for that, so Henry looking for that shot to the body, but one thing Thomas has done quite well, he just took his elbows in tight, and the body shots particularly haven't been landing. It's those sort of short jabs upstairs that seem to have had more of the effect.
Yeah, Thomas looks fit, he looks durable, which we know anyway from his career already, and if I am correct in what I believe that he is an ex-Marine, we know he's going to have that mentality where he's going to be here to survive. He's got that mindset, and he's definitely manoeuvring and fiddling his way around this now. Just nice feints, the occasional jab.
Single right hand there from Henry, but again not working his way into the shot, but point scoring shots, aren't they? In fights like this, that's what he's got to make sure he's doing, landing those point scoring shots.
Yeah, Henry's impressive with his shot display, and I'm more impressed with how elusive he is. He's not taking any shots. As I say that, he may have just taken a little one on the chin there, but
classic commentator's curse there.
Curse of the commentator. But yeah, Thomas displaying your typical away fighter tactics. Any form of distraction, just fiddling his way through the rounds. On the back foot, minimal damage. These will be good learning rounds for Cliff Henry. He'll learn a lot today against a durable man like Ben Thomas. And I do believe the worst thing you could get on your debut is a knockover job, because it just gives you all the wrong kind of signs.
But it gives you a false confidence, doesn't it, in your power?
Starts making you believe that you can get away with a lot of things and you can punch everybody up, and that's not always the case. So this will be good for Cliff.
Yeah, plenty of people in the comments looking forward to seeing Sean Cooper in action. So Joe Walker saying, "Come on, can't wait for Cooper." He'll be in the ring. One more fight after this one, and then Sean will be in the Des Newton.
Now I'm sure I've seen the Kieran Farrell logo on Ben Thomas's shorts now, so it is the man I believed it was, and he'd be fit if he trains at Kieran Farrell's gym. Farrell trains his fighters hard. He was a good pro himself.
Kieran Farrell's involved in some huge wars, some big fights, and it's good that he's managed to get this kind of second stage to his boxing career, running that gym, and he's building quite a nice stable of fighters.
He's like the up-and-coming manager. Yeah, he's very out there. He delivers for his fighters by the looks of it, so he's definitely an up-and-coming manager and one to look out for. Cliff will be looking to sign off with another solid round of good boxing display, I think.
Yep, 3 rounds up so far, including that 10-8 round in the opener.
It's not Paulie, he's a very tidy boxer, everything about him, he just...
Again, he's really controlled in the centre of the ring, isn't he? That big left hand lands through there.
And it looks like he's come out into round 4 with a bit more intent, Cliff Henry.
Yeah, and it's also getting that professional work. When the clinch is inside, which you don't see much of in amateur boxing, it's throwing those shots to the body, isn't it? And that's something that he'll learn more as he goes.
Yeah, Paul, of course. Listen, the first time it does happen, when you're in this kind of atmosphere, when you've sold the tickets, you're the home fighter, it's almost a bit alien to you, because it may happen in sparring sometimes, but you don't really register when it happens in these kind of fight nights. This is where the learning's done, really, when there's a bit more pressure and you've got a crowd watching you. A lovely jab. So far for me, Cliff Henry, what a performance. He throws that rear hand almost a bit Golovkin-esque.
Winds it up, doesn't he?
Yeah,
really puts a lot of wind to that shot, and Thomas got himself caught in the corner there, but managed to evade taking anything too clean.
Thomas just fiddling his way through now. An impressive Cliff though, solid performance. Yeah. Hopefully we get to see a bit more of him and move on forward for that Midlands light heavyweight title, which is a title that I can't remember in my time of boxing I've ever seen me box for, but there's a lot of light heavies coming through at the minute.
Yep, certainly, like I said, with the Midlands belts, they're not always used that frequently, and that is one weight class where you don't see very often. But if he's going to do it, he's got to do it in a hurry, hasn't he? 40 years of age, he's as good a shape as he in. It's not something you can sit around, and I'm sure that his management team will have him looking to move.
Yeah, he's got to get a move on, Paul. He has to get a move on being 40, and albeit on the phone, he sounded very ambitious, and he did say he lives a life, and you can see that purely looking at his physique, that he lives a life. And
questions in the comments about thinking whether Liam O'Hare will get a stoppage win. He's in with Josh Hodgins, who in 12 defeats has only ever been stopped once, and that was early in his career, so it'd be an impressive showing from Liam if he does manage to force a stoppage this evening.
Well, I can actually see Liam watching on, as this is his gym mate. Cliff is his gym mate, and he's here watching, so
Cliff looking to finish this one with a flurry. As the fight goes the distance, Adam.
Very impressive that for me, Paul. Very impressive performance from Cliff Henry. Sold some tickets, got some good fans here, and nice guy on the phone, and he really performed on his debut. I'm really happy for him. But Paul, talking about the light heavyweight situation in the Midlands, we've got a couple of lads. You've got Ricky Summers, you've got Josh Stokes, who seems to be on fire since being with Richie Gent. A very, very rejuvenated Josh Stokes, with his also with his father-in-law Steve O'Rourke as well, so that's definitely one. And then we've got one tonight, have we not? Brandon Jones is an up-and-coming light heavy. We've got a few light heavies coming up in the Midlands, and definitely a Midlands title fight should be made between some of these boys. It's a title I haven't seen being contended by anyone since I've been professional in 2014. These boys need to be contending for that bout.
Yeah, it'd be great to see more of those titles made across the weights, but certainly the bigger guys, it'd be nice to see.
And let's chuck Cliff Henry in the mix as well now, why not? As far as his manager, I'll be looking to get him one more 4-rounder, a 6-rounder, and then chuck him in for the light heavyweight Midlands title, but I'm not PJ Rolson.
First contest, 30 points to 35 for a winner. And his debut,
40 points to 35 with that 10-8 round in the opener. the crowd seem happy with what they've seen tonight, and it's Henry gets his professional record up and running, 1-0.
Yeah, great performance, great night for him. He won't forget this day for a while, that's for sure. And listen, hopefully after this he can go on and get some more sponsors and keep building and campaigning towards that area title, because it's not easy selling tickets, and any pro fighter will understand that sponsorship is vital, and friends and family buying tickets, so hopefully that can continue to build for Cliff.
Absolutely. Dan will be speaking to Cliff shortly. So our next fight that we'll be seeing with Brandon Jones against Elvis Dube, so stick around for that one.
Cliff, well done. Must be pleased with that performance.
Absolutely. It's the hard work paid off. 6-week fight camp, COVID halfway in between, so I'm delighted.
Was it everything you expected your professional debut to be?
And a bit better. Yeah, I was expecting a bit of nerve. The nerve was there, but it wasn't overwhelming. I was able to stick to the game plan, not rushing, just try to relax and not overcommit. I did it once, but I realised, and I sort of got it back together after that.
And to put a road warrior like Ben Thomas on the seat of his pants in the opening round, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, that was I was delighted, because then I know if the punch connect properly, it can do some damage. So even after that, I wasn't trying to do damage, I was just trying to stick to the game plan throughout. So
a lot in the build-up to the fight has been made about your age, turning professional at the ripe old age of 40. I can't talk, I'm 42. You look a lot better than me. What does the future hold?
I'm going to take it one fight at a time. I'll keep going. 40 years old. I think nowadays, nutrition, science, education, people at 40 years old can go much further for longer, and I'll try and stay proof to that. So,
Cliff, give me the number of your nutritionist. Well done tonight.
thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Cliff Henry's got a new fan in Adam Harper, that's for sure. I'll be following his career with a watchful eye.
Yeah, thanks for that, Dan. Cliff just going round his the fans and speaking to the people that have come out to see him tonight. As Elvis Dube makes his way to the ring.
I'm going to tell you a story about Elvis Dube. He boxed a very good amateur friend of mine, still a good friend now, Dave Bailey from Bristol. And he gave Dave Bailey a very, very tough night over 4 rounds. Caught him with a cracking shot, and it really rocked him to his boots. Elvis Dube can be dangerous.
Yeah, Elvis is 106th fight, and there's quite a few guys now actually licensed who are in the 100 club, and quite a few of them sailing above and beyond 200, and some of them up to the likes of 250 possibly in the next couple of years.
Yeah, the Centurion Club. I've got a good friend, Michael Mooney, who's heading that way. He can't be far off it, Mooney. Now, I'm sure Brandon Jones was a national champion, I'm sure of this. Quite the talent, now under John Costello, who has quite an exceptional stable himself.
Yeah, the younger of the Joneses, 22 years old from Chelmsley Wood. It's his third professional fight. As you say, he's being led by John Costello, who was his first ever coach when he took up boxing at the age of 8. And as I say, 38 amateur bouts, 30 wins with 2 national titles in the England Junior Championships and then ABC competition in 2016. So, good amateur backgrounds. As I say, they're very popular guys, the Joneses, and they're going to a lot of tickets here tonight.
And again, Paul, it's another name to chuck in the light heavyweight mix. You've got some real good lads. Brandon Jones being one of them. Top fighter with a big future.
Elvis has been there and seen everything. He's a very smart fighter, very strong, very fit. So again, Brandon's got to show that word again. He's got to show patience. He's got to choose his shots well.
Well, you'd like to think Dube's definitely going to give him rounds, something to think about, and this would be a great learning fight for him.
Official weight 13 stone and 2 ounces. One of boxing's elite centurions. Tonight he takes part in his 106th professional contest. In Derby, Elvis Dube. And introducing across the ring, bottom of the red corner, US black shirts, official weight 12 stone, 13 pound and 10 ounces. Is a 2 times national amateur champion, undefeated in his professional career, 2 victories from 2 contests, 1 win coming by way of knockout. From Chelmsley Road, Brandon Jones!
Wow, he's got some reception here. He sold some tickets.
Yeah, the good thing as well with them being cousins is that hopefully the fans will stick around for both. Fighting family.
Are they not brothers, Paul?
Sorry, is it brothers?
I believe brothers, yeah. I might be wrong, don't quote me, but I believe they are brothers. I'm sure some of the comments may tell us otherwise on the YouTube.
One of us is going to be told we're wrong, and it'll probably be me. So this one's scheduled for 4 again. Elvis, not a tall fighter by any stretch of the means, but he's very stocky, very strong, and he certainly knows how to survive. Decent start though from Jones, left hook inside to the body.
Yeah, he's looking to stab it upstairs and then hooking down to the body straight afterwards. Good punch selection. In good hands with John Costello. Obviously had a great run with Jamie Cox, and obviously his 2 boys as well, so he's got good coaching, Costello.
Yeah, it's important for Brandon as well. It's his 3rd fight in 5 months, and for so many fighters, getting to that 6, 7, 8 fights, that's when the opportunities start arriving, and it's about being able to get there. So many get stuck on 2 or 3 and don't get that support. They struggle to get back out, but he's getting his fights in nice and quick.
Yeah, he's looking to build, isn't he? And it's good that he's got a fan base that want to follow him around and buy tickets, and like you said, it's giving him these opportunities to move forward and elevate himself. But he's young, he's got plenty of time.
Yeah, nice counter right hand there, and landing some decent shots to be fair.
Yeah, listen, a great punch selection. He's really punches are coming in from all angles. He's bringing shots up and then bringing them around. And he looks good. He looks composed. Nothing's really phasing him.
Yeah, he looks big in there as well. Looks tall, and he's fighting within his height. You see, so frustrates me so many times when you see the slightly taller fighters and they fight down to their opponent and they're not using their sort of the natural, what they've got, the natural long length of the arms, and being able to move in and out with your feet.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth there, Paul. He's using his nice long levers, and he's not rushing. It's good to see, because there's a couple of times he could have probably got a bit excitable and jumped in on Dube, but he's not. He's just boxing behind his jab and just doing everything he needs to do here.
Yeah, nice right hand over the top, and he's having some success in getting around Dube's guard. So left hand
selection, yeah.
Just on the belt line there, but it was a clean punch. And again, the heavy looking shots. It's rare you see Elvis take this many punches so early in a fight.
Yeah, this isn't good watching for Dube in the first round, because you just got a feeling that Brandon Jones is just going to keep pushing, putting the pressure on now and building on this first round.
Yeah, big left hand to the body.
Well, The light heavyweight scene is looking absolutely buzzing in the Midlands right now. I've just named 4 light heavyweights, all in the BCP stable, that in my opinion could all box for a Midlands title.
Good jab there as well after landing the flurry of punches. And again, he's getting straight through Elvis's guard. Again, not something you see all that often.
Yeah, no, listen, great first round by Jones. Really impressive. If I was John Costello, I'd be very happy, Paul. Great first round.
So boxing in the UK at the moment is on a real high after a tricky couple of years. So we had the announcement today, Tyson Fury, Dillian White will be at Wembley Stadium April 23rd.
What I love, Paul, is the fact that there's a lot of different promotion companies, channels now. Everything's getting spread out evenly. It will give opportunities to all these small hall lads, and it is brilliant for British boxing.
Yeah, plenty of fights looking forward to seeing. Also a quick word on Zach Parker, who's Frank Warren won the purse bid for Zach Parker, Demetrius Andrade, and it's life-changing money, isn't it, for Zach?
Yeah, I'll be asking him for a tenner if possible. And I'll also be reminding him that I had to he was on my undercard when I was headlining at Tewkesbury School, so if he wants to return the favour, Zach, feel free.
So it's a massive opportunity for Zach financially, and also just to get himself in that line for what will be a vacant world title. Going to be a real tricky test against Demetrius Andrade. He's an awkward fighter. He hits harder than most people think, and he's technically very good. But
if anyone can do it, Zach Parker can.
Yeah. The last 2-3 years, well, even longer than that, with Zach, there's been so much excitement about him within the BCB stable. And as I say, Paul Mann will never say his favourite, but he's always told me that he's been the one to watch, and he's said that since he turned over.
Yeah, and he's called that one right, because he is a talent to watch. But listen, I'm going to talk to you about Brandon Jones here, because he's got a wicked punch selection, and whatever he seems to throw at Dube, he seems to be hitting him with.
Yeah, and he evaded that left hand really nicely as well.
Yeah, listen, very, very impressed with this performance today. Great punch selection.
And again, that jab, I keep saying it, that jab is just finding its home, isn't it? He's really pushing himself through Elvis's guard.
But again, solid rounds. These are the rounds he needs building up.
Yeah, he's basically looking a little bit too much for that right hand, isn't he? Leading off with that right hand, but his better work is where he's doing this now, and he's leading himself in through the jab.
Everything off the jab, and then he's hooking off that. It's just working very, very nicely. But again, very, very impressive performance from Jones. More to the point, I want to see these light heavyweights against each other somewhere down the line. Errol Johnson sort it out. Because for me, Brandon Jones is ready to box for a Midlands title now. Superb talent.
Elvis is having a difficult night in there, and he doesn't look to be enjoying himself, and he ships another couple of right hands. The referee's starting to pay a little bit closer attention.
And listen, Dube's been in with some big punches. He's been in with your Lennox Clarks. He's been in with all your other super middles, light heavies, and that's why I'm saying this is an impressive performance for me.
Yeah, another right hand straight through, and the left hook lands as well. Again, Elvis is starting to see that lead right hand now, isn't he? He's starting to get that guard up a little bit higher, but that's where Brandon possibly Adams should look to switch to the body.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like he did there. Switch to the body and then bring it up underneath.
Another impressive round from Brandon Jones. So for those guys in the comments watching your fighter, send your comments in, send your messages in. We'll try our best to read them out. So plenty of support in there for Cooper. He's fighting a little bit later on. And also any Kane Baker fans, drop your messages over to us.
As we were saying earlier, the British boxing scene, I just want to finish off now. It's a great opportunity. We've got Probellum, DAZN, Sky, Hennessy, Channel 5. We've got so many opportunities for these lads.
Third round of this one's scheduled for 4. Elvis will have probably been given a bit of another he gets a talking to in his corner, but I'm sure they'll be saying to him, get back to doing what you do, which is boxing and moving. But he just seemed quite content to kind of meet Brandon in the middle of the ring, and that's traditionally not really a kind of game plan we tend to see from him. Yeah, no, it's not the brightest idea, I don't think, either, because anything Brandon does throw seems to be landing at will. So, Dube's face is a magnet for both of Brandon Jones's hands, which isn't a good sign for an away fighter. But very impressed with how calm he is and relaxed. He's not rushing his work. Yeah, seems happy to work his way in. And again, just pushing that jab through. Nice stiff double jab. And again, perfect to that right hook to the body. So he said pre-fight that his ambition is British champion. That's the level that he wants to get to. He's a little bit away from that yet, but he is, Paul. But at the same time, he's got age on his side. He's in a training camp with John Costello, who's been in major fights. Obviously, he took Jamie Cox to the Super Series, so he's got knowledge on his side. He's got age on his side. He's got everything in his favour to go on and achieve that. So picking his shots really nicely. A little left hook to the body landed inside there, and again pushing that jab through. Showing a good variety of shots tonight. And that right comes through. It's been a difficult night for Dube. He's taking a lot of punches. I'm just very impressed with how relaxed Brandon Jones is behaving in the ring. Everything he throws, like I keep saying, is landing. His boxing skills and the skill set that he's displaying is superb. I'll be really happy with him. If I was, coaching him right now, I'd be a happy coach. But Dube's job was to give him the round and get on to his next fight next week. It's definitely a tough night in the office. Now, you've had these fights early, obviously, on in your career, Adam, where you know that you're very, very unlikely to get a stoppage against this kind of opponent. Obviously, the discipline you've got to show. As the fight goes on, what are the instructions you'll be getting there, do you think? Well, for me, obviously, I'm not familiar with what John Costello would be saying, but it doesn't look like he is rushing his work, so I'm guessing he's been told just to keep doing what he's doing. Everything behind his jab, relax, take your time. And that appears to be what he's doing. He's just relaxing, enjoying it, getting the rounds under his belt. And he's not getting excitable, because there's a couple of times he's hurt him a couple of times, and he's kept his calm and he's been composed, and he's doing a great job. I'll tell you something for the home fighters as well. When you get a little acknowledged little nod, which Elvis just gave him there, that says a lot. Elvis knows he's in with a good opposition tonight. Bradshaw in the comments shouting out for Kane Baker. Kane will be on later on this evening, just before our headline, Troy Jones. And Kane's in with an experienced fighter who was actually on recently on the undercard of the world title fight in Dubai. The boxing presence in that part of the world certainly has been growing the last few years. And Sonny Edwards was headlining the world title show, and he was on that one in the away corner, went the distance with an unbeaten fighter. Well, the final round, Jones is straight back out behind his jab, and that's all he needs to do to finish his fight off, in my opinion. Boxed beautifully from rounds 1 up until now, and showing a great display of punches. Yeah, the word I always tend to use, people, is it's compact, isn't it? He hasn't got his elbows out square, he's landing nice straight shots, and he's getting himself tucked back in. It's a good performance so far. Yeah, listen, superb performance. He hasn't really made a mistake, has he? Yeah, and anytime Elvis just takes that step closer, he's just getting pushed away with the jab. Pace of the fight slowing down a little bit in this round, Adam.
Yeah, I mean, Jones has worked quite well. He's thrown a lot of shots, so he is going to be feeling the pace a little bit. He hasn't taken any shots, but he's let his hands go. He's had a good output. And as we say that, Paulie's just let a 6-punch combination go, so
we're going to try that every time the action rolls a little bit. I'm going to make that comment, and then we'll get some good shots.
Guess it all depends on how fast these boys want to move, isn't it, really? Because there isn't always really a lot of opportunity at this weight division in your area for your area title, but currently there are, and I guess it all depends on how fast these lads want to move and what opportunities they want to take. But you know, your lads like Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon was saying he was hoping to have sort of 6-7 fights by sort of this time next year. So I think getting out every few months and being active, it's so important, isn't it? You know, you see so many guys who don't keep active for one reason or another, and it's you've got to get those fights and you've got to keep yourself year-round shape, because as fighters have found, you've got to be ready for that phone call, haven't you?
Yeah, Paul, listen, one, he's got age on his side, so he's got plenty of time to have that 5-6 fights, so you can't argue that, and 100% activity is key. And you know, my career has been an average of 1.3 fights a year or something stupid like that, and you have got to keep yourself in shape all year round, again, unlike myself, in between fights, so you can be ready to take the call. But you'd like to think Brandon might get an opportunity on one of these platforms, whether it be Probellum, DAZN, Channel 5, Sky, Frank Warren. There's going to be opportunities coming for someone as talented as him.
Yeah. Final seconds of this one. It's a fight that Brandon has dominated from start to finish. An impressive performance.
Yeah, superb fight.
Elvis Dube sees the final bell. Certainly not the first time that I've said that, and it's far from the first time he's heard that. Very, very durable fighter.
He is one hard man.
Just we'll await the referee's scorecard. There, Adam, Brandon Jones takes it 40-36, spot on scoring.
Yeah, great performance. Back to the drawing board now and see what's next for him, but as I keep saying, he's got time on his side, age, on his side as well, so he can just cruise along nicely towards that area title and hopefully end up at his destination of a British title. Definitely got the ability.
Matthew, start asking when's the main man Desi the Machine Newton on. Des will be in action soon against Sean Cooper. He is the next fight. As our producer's just gone off trying to chase Brandon for his interview, as he seemed very quick to run backstage. All being well, he should be joining Dan shortly. Yep, he's managed to grab him, so he'll soon be on his way.
Brandon, congratulations, pleased with that performance?
Yeah, felt a bit flat in the last rounder, but I thought I'd done well in the first three.
He's a tough cookie as well. He's smaller as well, and he's been with absolutely everybody. So you've got to have Elvis Dube almost on your record if you're going to be a boxer.
Yeah, he hasn't been stopped many times, has he? Yeah, he was strong, very strong.
In terms of feeling flat, was it a long camp for you? Was it just on the night, or?
I had a good camp, but just how I performed on the day, really. 7-week camp, so.
In terms of those 3 rounds that you were pleased with, what aspects of the fight were you pleased with?
I had him on my jab all night, I was catching him. Yeah.
In terms of where you want to be, you're now 3-0, a bit like your cousin Troy will hopefully get to 3-0 himself this evening. What does 2022 hold in store?
I'd like to get on a telly show.
This is the telly?
You know what I mean? Like, not match for him, but anyone that'll have me, like, you know what I mean?
In terms of the area belt, is that something that you're looking at?
Yeah, definitely. I'd love the British in the very future, like, but see what happens.
So it's working your way up to the British, and before you are there though, a word for your supporters this evening?
Thanks for all coming, man.
Brandon, congratulations, well done tonight.
To start, the first item is a Paul Gascoigne signed photograph. A signed photo of Paul Gascoigne. The start of the bidding of £30. Do I have a bidding of £30? £30 everywhere for the signed photo of Paul Gascoigne. I'm looking around the room. I have a bidding of £30. Do I have 50? £30 is bid. Do I have £50? For the Paul Gascoigne. We have £50. £50 is bid. Do you have 60? £50 is the bid at the moment. Do you have £60? £50 is the bid. Do you have any advancement? £50. £50 is the bid, ladies and gentlemen. We have 60. We have £60 bid. £60 is bid. We have 70, ladies and gentlemen. Going up in £10 at the moment. £60 is the current bid. Do you have £70 bid? We have. So, what did you say? £70 is the current bid. You're winning the bid, you can't hire your own bid. Ladies and gentlemen, £70 is the current bid. Do I have 80? Do I have £80 for the Paul Gascoigne signed photograph? £80 from this gentleman. We have a bid of £100. £100 from the gentleman. £100 going loose. Going twice. Sold to table number 18. Thank you, sir. The next item, ladies and gentlemen, is a Roy Jones Jr. signed canvas. Roy Jones Jr. signed canvas. The bidding starts at £50. Do I have £50 bid for this item? £50 Roy Jones Jr. signed canvas. Do I have a bid of £50? Looking around the room, not seeing any at the moment. £50 bid. No bids is going. £50. Yes, we have a bid of £50. £50 is bid. Do we have 60? Do we have £60 bid? £50 is the bid at present. Do we have £60, ladies and gentlemen? Roy Jones Jr. £60 is bid. £60 is bid. Do we have 70? Do we have £70? Do we have £70 bid? I can't see much going for the moment. I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the reserve price is £90. Do we have a bid of £90? No bid of £90. We have a bid of £90. Do you have any advancement? £90 is bid. Do we have 100? £90 is the bid, ladies and gentlemen. £90 is the bid. Going once, going twice. Sold. Thank you. Table number 1, £90. Next item, ladies and gentlemen, a signed pair of Ebony Bridges trunks in a frame. Signed Ebony Bridges trunks in a frame. Do I have £70 bid for this item? Do I have £70 bid for the Ebony Bridges signed trunks? £70. Do I have a bid on these trunks? Do I have a bid, ladies and gentlemen? Ebony Bridges signed trunks. No bid at present. Okay, we'll move on to the next item. I'm being informed that in fact that sounds a bit better with the microphone there, the sound quality is a bit difficult. This evening, the next item is a pair of Daniel Dubois stand trunks. Daniel Dubois stand trunks complete with certificate of authenticity. Do I have £100 bid for these items? £100 anywhere in the room, £100 for the Daniel Dubois stand trunks. Do I have any interest in this item, ladies and gentlemen? Daniel Dubois stand trunks. No, it doesn't look like there's anybody who did it for that item, so we shall move on. Ladies and gentlemen, the next item is a Joseph Parker signed glove complete with certificate of authenticity in its own case, and I'm informed that this is the actual glove that he fought Anthony Joshua with. I'm going to start at the reserve price to save time of £90. Do I have £90 bid for this item? Joseph Parker signed glove with certificate of authenticity in its own case. The actual glove that he used in his contest with Anthony Joshua. Do I have £90 bid for this item? £90, ladies and gentlemen. No, what I do, I have a bid of £90. £90 is good. Anyone fancy me to £90? £90 going once, going twice. So, taking in the free, thank you, sir. Just 2 more items to go, ladies and gentlemen. Your penultimate item is a Paul Gascoigne signed England shirt from Euro 96. A Paul Gascoigne signed England shirt from Euro 96. And I'm going to start the bidding at the reserve price of £170. £170 is the reserve price. Do I have any interest in this item? Ladies and gentlemen, interest in the Paul Gascoigne signed glove. So the signed England shirt from Euro 96. Now, thank you. We'll move on to our final item. And our final item is a Sugar Ray Lemon, one of the greatest boxers of all time. Signed pair of boxing trunks. Reserve price is £180. So I can start the bidding at £180. Any interest in Sugar Ray Leonard signed trunks? £180, ladies and gentlemen. Do I have any interest in this item? One final time, Sugar Ray Leonard signed trunks. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Who's welcome, making his way to the ring, who's coming all the way from Devon, it's the Destroyer.
In the corner of Chris Eubank, and you lost that fight. You didn't get a hiding. You lost that fight.
Close points loss.
Close points lost. Just don't look at the scores.
Des Newton here. Had a good chat with Des. Was a massive ticket seller to start off with. I wanted to go down the route as a road warrior. He told me that boxing has definitely saved his life. He was going a bit wayward before he started boxing, then started boxing and went a bit wayward again, so he's gone back on the road to keep him on the straight and narrow. He's a successful business owner, he's a businessman, but the boxing keeps him on the straight and narrow, he keeps saying. So he said he's fit, he's trained by Scott Dan down in Plymouth, former pro, but he's ready for this, he said.
Sean Cooper making his way to the ring in his 15th professional fight. Cooper's seen the finish in all but 2 of those fights, which are both titles on the line, his 2 toughest defeats. And he's had victories over the likes of Boyd Jones, which won him that WBO youth lightweight title, and he is still only 25 years old.
Yeah, he's got youth on his side, hasn't he? He's still got time. He said he's with Geffen now, Martin Geffen, his new coach, who was a world title challenger. Was he a world title challenger or just have a world title eliminator? Final eliminator.
Challenger.
He says his training regime is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sparring Sunday, Tuesday, Thursdays with the S&C coach. And he said hopefully after this, he's hoping for another big fight. He said we're waiting to see what comes up after, but that's the plan. And he did say a big thanks to his sponsors, big thanks to his wife who puts up with him, he said, and does a lot for him. So, you know, he seems keen to go. And
I think he's got his sights on that English title, Myron Mills. He's a familiar face. You know, I think that's his potential route, and it'll be interesting to see if that's where he does go.
Myron Mills is a good fighter. Is he still with Clifton Mitchell? Very, very good fighter, Myron Mills.
Yeah, big character in the game, Clifton.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Now, obviously, unfortunately, that fight against Sam Noakes, where he did get that stoppage, but again, there's no shame in being in there and losing to the likes of Sam, Jack O'Keefe, and also Mark Chamberlain. And he came up short for that Midlands title. But as I say, he's got an experienced man in his corner in Martin Geffen.
Yeah, Martin Geffen, extremely knowledgeable guy. Very experienced in the game of boxing and at this level. Ready to start performing how he should do.
Yeah, the opposite trainers, both very familiar to each other.
I was literally about to say, strange game this, isn't it? Ben Wilkes probably held the pads for Martin Geffen thousands of rounds, and now they're competing against each other in some kind of format.
Yeah, Cooper opens up with a left jab to the body and a left hook downstairs. Again, he will be looking to press again. When you come off a difficult defeat, I suppose it's just about getting the wins back under you. And you know, if he wants that English title shot, he doesn't need to win. He needs to look good, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. You know, he needs to look good against any form of away fight. But Daz isn't going to come here and just lay over for him. He's going to get his rounds tonight, and he'll probably have a few obstacles he's got to overcome to get there.
Yeah, Chris Hadaway in the comments again, another brilliant road fighter. Someone that we've really enjoyed watching over the years, and he's made the point of saying that Des is in good nick.
Yeah, definitely.
He's been training hard for this one.
They're from the same neck of the woods, aren't they? Plymouth, and both used to be ticket sellers back in the day. Both opted for the away route, and you know, some would argue that's probably the better route to go. It saves a lot of stress and aggravation. And you get to have your boxing voice in the away corner. They get to box every week and stay fit, stay healthy, earn a few quid. Cooper's displaying some good head movement here, good lateral movement. Desi Newton not giving him a lot to really have to think about. Poking out the jab, he's prodding it, but he's not doing a lot with it.
Yeah, Cooper fights quite low. He bends his knees a lot, doesn't he? And again, he pushes into the shots.
Yeah. throwing good, letting his hands go nice here though, Paul, and throwing some good combinations. And he does look strong when he goes to the body. But again, you know, it'll be when he steps up at title level again, because obviously Des is here to do his job, do his round, and get back home to Plymouth safe and sound tonight. So when Sean does have to come back up against another title challenger, he's got to be able to put all these kind of shot selections together.
Yeah, good right hand to the body.
Yeah, lovely work there.
And again, just missing with that left hook.
He's putting the shots together nicely as well, and he's looking for that left hook to the body, and he's stabbing the body with his jab, and he is looking tidy inside there, Sean Cooper.
Yeah, both men looking to exchange jabs, but it's Cooper's that landed. There's already a little bit of reddening on the side of Des Newton.
Martin Geffen not got as many pros in his gym as I thought he would be. A very, you know, well accomplished professional himself. I know he's like the head honcho in the Geffen gym. He also has Martin Towdry help him out, coaching and helps run the establishment, I believe.
Again, he had some great nights. A real sort of two-part stage was created in Martin Geffen. He had that run up to get in that final the final limit for the world title. It didn't quite go his way, but then he certainly had some good nights later on in his career.
Most notably, was it John Wayne Hibbert he took out in fashion? Was it John Wayne Hibbert he beat? Yeah.
Unbelievable stoppage. And he was unfortunately winning with Tommy Coyle, and unfortunately the eardrum which plagued his career.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, he was winning the fight and then the eardrum went, and it was just...
I was there for that. We had him dropped so heavily, and I thought Coyle was done. I mean, Coyle's got a lot of powers and resistance, but I thought he had him, and it was frustrating but understandable. I imagine the pain he'd been in would have been very, very difficult to deal with.
You just couldn't write it, Paul. You put someone down on a Sky Sports show and then your eardrum gets burst. It's just hard lines for Geffen, I guess.
But now he's in the coach's corner. As I say, he's always a mildly spoken man, Martin, but I'm sure he'll be giving Cooper plenty of hard instructions in there. Des is bounced off his stool, ready to go.
Yeah. Desi straight out, just poking his jab out, just trying to keep him at arm's length. Cooper very good with the lateral movement though, and good feet. He's displaying good feet and a great punch selection.
Yeah, Des shipped a jab there which stumbled him back a little bit, almost on the arms of the ringside cameraman.
Lovely double left hook there upstairs and straight down to the body. Nice bit of head movement from Des Newton there though as well, staying out of trouble.
Yeah, neither man wasting any punches. So, but Cooper just trying to find his range with that jab again.
Both lads displaying good boxing here, both got a good jab. Des Newton just more reserved, not coming forward. His hands are up, he's got him in a nice tight guard.
Yeah. A good right hand, because just as you say that, a good right hand, looked like it slightly staggered Des, but recovered well.
Good boxing display here by Sean Cooper, looking slick and sharp.
Again, Des looking to just feel his way in with the jab. Both men holding centre ring, but seem happy just to be exchanging single shots for now.
Again, lovely lateral movement by Cooper. Just letting his hands go, and then he'll move his feet, move his head, and he'll evade those, he'll avoid those shots. Quite evasive.
You seem to find Cooper tends to circle to his left. Is that an orthodox stance thing, Adam, or is that just something that he finds his style? Because so many fighters seem to do that.
Yeah, no, do you know, it is what some of us orthodox fighters do, but it's definitely a bad habit. You should definitely try and mix it up, because, at title level, maybe a Myron Mills might chuck a big right hand over and catch him, so you've got to be careful about those kind of bad habits that can slip in.
Yeah, Des growing with a bit of a confidence there, hasn't he? He seemed quite willing to let Sean take the shot against him, and I think he's decided that he's not troubled by his power.
Yeah, a bit of skullduggery there by Des Newton, and he seems to be enjoying himself in that. That might be the wrong word, but he's definitely Definitely confident, like you say, growing in confidence.
Yeah, playing up to the crowd a little bit, which a lot of the away fighters do. And Cooper mixing a nice little 3-punch combination there, accumulating with that left hook inside. And a right hand over the top, and again that's better, isn't it? Right hand over the top, and then he moved and gave himself a new space.
Like I said earlier, Paul, the art of boxing, hit and not get hit. Don't be there to get hit. Rich coming from me, I know, but that is the whole art of it. Lovely feet there. Good boxing display there by Sean Cooper. Very impressive in that second half of that second round.
Yeah, I think Des is again a bit of a smile. He's went back to his corner, but Ben's got him sat down. And Sean listening intently to Martin.
He's got a good man in his corner, you know. Geffen been in all the kind of fights that you can imagine. British title fight, English area, world title eliminators. He's had some career, so to have someone like Martin Geffen giving you the instructions, it can only encourage you, it can only give you confidence. And Des Newton just walking around the ring, doesn't care.
He's ready, Des ready to go.
He's pumping the ref, he doesn't care.
Seconds out, round.
He is taking this seriously, people watching at home. He genuinely is.
He told me on the phone, Paul, that he really has taken it serious. He's training a lot harder than he has for a long time. He's in shape, you know, and this is a fresh start for his road warrior life.
Again, the challenge that Cooper's got, there's a lot of good fighters in the weight class, isn't there? Again, you know, not necessarily the huge names, but there's a lot around that kind of English, British title level, and it's another busy division. There's so many right now in the UK.
Yeah, this is down at light welterweight, is this correct?
That's it.
Yeah, there are a lot of good fighters. There's one from my neck of the woods down in Gloucester, Akeem Ennis-Brown, former British and Commonwealth champion, should still be British and Commonwealth champion. It's one of the worst decisions against Sam Maxwell that I've seen, but there's plenty of boys around. If you look in the Midlands, you've got Corey Gibbs as well, another East Side boxer, superb prospect, or contender I should say now, champion. He won the prize fighter, or the boxer series I should say.
Lead left hook there for Cooper.
But again, Desi looks pretty comfortable. He's soaking everything up, and he's now starting to walk him forward. And
that's where Cooper's got to be careful, because Des will just throw those awkward shots from unusual angles. And again, that leads off with that right hand. He did it with the uppercut a moment ago, and he's just landed a straight right there.
Yeah, he's
got to keep his wits about him.
Yeah, he's just chipping away at Cooper. Not that I'm saying anything's bothering him. And when he does box a move, Sean Cooper's putting on a great display there, and I'm sure Martin Geffen will be happy. But when he stays in the pocket here with Desi, it's probably not the best place to be. And Des seems to be happy when he's inside.
Chris Higgs enjoying the action at home, particularly enjoying your commentary, Adam.
Oh, Chris Higgs, another good former pro from Lydney, from the same gym as Liam O'Hare. His dad actually, Chris Higgs' dad trained Liam O'Hare and Chrissy Higgs, great fighter, very good fighter back in the day. Former England representative, I believe. I'm sure he'll tell us that in a minute, Paul.
And that talk about Corey Gibbs, Chris Hadaway's just said that he boxed Corey, couldn't land on him though.
Yeah, listen, Corey Gibbs is was before the boxer series, one of Britain's best kept secrets, I should say. Oh, nice hook there by Sean Cooper.
Yeah, and a good jab as well there from Cooper. That really rocked Newton's head back a little bit.
But listen, Casey Benjamin also going down to light welterweight, I've heard. And listen, Benjamin is one hell of a fighter, power in both hands. That's another big name to watch out for in the Midlands. Again, the East Side Gym have got a couple of good boys coming through. Not coming through, that are already there, I should say. I don't want to sound disrespectful. Again, Desi just walking him back, trying to manhandle him now.
Yeah, Cooper growing in confidence now. He's starting to really mix his shots up quite nicely.
Yeah, boxing and moving nice, and he just slows his feet down a bit too much sometimes, Sean Cooper, and then he engages with Des Newton, and that's his undoing, I'd say. It's better off when he's boxing and moving and ducking and diving and being evasive, not being there to stand and trade shots with him.
That's it. That's what he's got to be able to do. And as I say, heading into the final round of this one, it's Sean's fight to lose.
Yeah, definitely. If Sean Cooper switches off and takes a shot, then anything could happen. But if he just keeps on what he's doing, I'm sure Martin Geffen's telling him in there, just box and move and continue to do what you've been doing.
Well, it's took a little while, but we've had the first question, Adam. I knew it would come. When are you back fighting? That's the question in the comments. I know the answer possibly, but I'm going to chuck it to you.
I've got a bit of weight to lose. Let's say May time if I can get my weight off, but obviously I'm otherwise engaged with work commitments at the minute, but I'm looking to get out in May or June maybe. We'll see what happens. Until then, we'll continue with Sean Cooper and Des Newton. But thank you for asking.
Yeah. Sean taking the opening rounds clearly, and again he's fighting that quite nice compact style. And again, if you're going to go in against someone like Myron Mills, he's such a flurry puncher and he is very, very slick. I suppose you've got to outwork him in fighting inside, which he's been showing a little bit of tonight.
Yeah, and listen, Mills has got a bit of pop in his punches too, so you'll have to be a bit more careful and switched on with Myron Mills. Personally, I'd be more frightened of his trainer though. Clifton Mitchell's a man that would definitely frighten me.
A bit of chronology there from Des. There's a fine line, isn't there, sometimes, I think, between that and a little bit of disrespect, but Sean didn't rise to it and stuck to his boxing.
Do you know, I actually enjoy seeing the away fighters with the skullduggery and the showboating. I don't mind it, Paul. I was watching a documentary, not about Peter Buckley, who's the other journeyman from Hull? Can't think now. Tony Booth, last night I was watching it. And he did the Ali shuffle and knocked someone out because his fans were calling him Youth Fan D. So I don't mind a bit of kidology from him. But again, Sean Cooper here back on the jab, looking sharp as well. Sharp and slick.
That was nice from Sean. His best moment in the fight, I think that was just putting his shots together really well.
Now listen, Paul, it was nice, but then he stands in the pocket and he doesn't throw a lot. As I say that, he does, but the previous 10 times he hasn't thrown a lot, so he's really just being a punch bag. If you're going to stand in the pocket, at least let your hands go. If not, get on your bike and get moving. Do what's been working.
Yeah, got to be busier. Martin Tawndry's just joining the live stream. I confirm that is Adam Harper on the commentary.
Top man Martin, I hope you're well, mate. Top bloke Martin, supports a lot of local fighters, sponsors a lot of fighters. He also did sponsor Fowler when he beat me, so I probably won't let him off for that one. But he is a top bloke and he helps out down at Geffen's gym. He's a good guy.
Des willing Sean on, and Sean's landed quite a lot of body shots, and Des seems to be taking them well. He's enjoying himself in there, Des.
He is, but I don't like to see these lads take too many shots clean to the head. Oh, he chipped one himself there, Cooper. A couple of left hooks to the head, but he's taking them well and he's back on his jab, and that's what he needs to do. Just get back on his jab and get moving his feet. He doesn't need to be in close when he's not throwing a lot. For me, that's not a good sign, because against someone like Myron Mills, that could be his undoing. That's a bit better. Very elusive. Good little bout that. I enjoyed that, Paul. Bit of everything.
Yeah. Did the job for Cooper, who are taking the fight every 4 rounds, and just see what his options are now. Is it Mills? Is it a Noakes rematch? We shall see. Des, great to have him back in the ring, looking in good nick.
Yeah, Desi looked back on form
as well.
Yeah, definitely. Desi looked back on form. He's saluting the crowd. And listen, Sean Cooper, Myron Mills would be a good fight. I really rate Mills. I remember watching him box Luke Paddock all those years ago, and ever since then I've really rated him. He's in a good gym with up at One Nation. They seem to produce and throw out champion after champion, so they'll do something right up in that gym. That'd be a good fight, and I'd enjoy watching. But yeah, all in all, Desi gave us some good, as viewers, gave us some good viewing points.
Yeah, good entertainment in there this evening. Kevin Parker asking for a round of applause. Both men deserve it. As we await the final score.
The referee Kevin Parker scores the contest 30 points to 46. Their winner, Sean
Cooper takes it, Adam, 40-36.
Yeah, listen, he's displayed some superb skills in there, but there was just for me a little bit concerning. If I've got to be picky, Paul, there were times when he did switch off slightly, stood in the pocket a bit too long, but he wasn't really throwing a lot. Now against Mills or other fighters, that could be his undoing, and that's where he could end up losing fights. But you know, we got away with it tonight against Desi. But all in all, good performance. I'd be happy if I was Martin Geffen and Sean Cooper. Go back to the drawing board and stay in the gym and wait for that phone to ring, because I'm sure, no doubt, after a win like that and keep busy, the phone will be ringing soon enough.
Yeah, great to have Des back. Dan will be catching up with Sean Cooper very shortly. He's making his way there now.
Sean, congratulations. Des Newton, what a character. He's got a chin on him as well, hasn't he?
Right. Yeah, what a chin, you know, it is what it is. I boxed him with a jab. I keep getting cramp in my right hand, no excuses, but I had to just work on the jab, and him, you know, coming in heavy, me coming in heavy, not my natural weight. You could tell, I just sluggish, slow, but what a tough guy. I reckon, you know, he's a tough kid. He kept coming. He gave me a good 4 rounds, and that's what I wanted.
Exactly, you wanted to get those rounds in, and against somebody like Des Newton, that's what you're always guaranteed.
Exactly, mate, you know, you can't always knock him out. You know, I might not show a knocking record, but, you know, it'll soon will come. I'm still at 25, I'm just growing, you know, it will come, so yeah.
Good to blow a few of those cobwebs off and get in that ring, get those 12 meets under your belt.
That's it, mate, yeah, you know, coming off a loss against Sam Noakes, he knocked me down. I didn't really prepare, you know, I was gutted, but I've got to get back to winning ways, get me back in the title fight, and we'll see a different Sean again, you know, I'll come again.
Is that what you're looking for, to get that W under your belt and then push on for those bigger and better fights?
Yeah, I want them bigger and better fights, you know what I mean? These journeymen are tough, you know, they give you them 4 rounds that you need, but I think I'm above levels, you know, when I'm in a camp training, getting at the right weight, you know, I'm at that level. I want to be fighting for titles no matter what. So yeah, after this now, Errol will get on the phone and see what comes next. I want a title.
Is it a case of have gloves, we'll travel wherever that title is, you'll be on the road if you need to?
Exactly, mate, yeah, wherever, we'll be on the road. I want that phone call, and I'll be ready, more than ready. Back in training Monday, and there we go again.
Sean, well done tonight.
Cheers.
Arjun's just stopped the once in his career, which was early on. 12 losses.
Hodgkins just coming off a loss to Tom Brennan, I believe, not too long ago over in Birmingham again, or Warsaw. Tom Brennan, someone I know who's got aspirations for the Midlands light middleweight title, so he'll have his eye on Liam O'Hare tonight, no doubt. Someone else who'll be edging towards that title. Liam O'Hare was a former Lydney ABC amateur boxer. I can tell you this from my amateur days. He'll bring a crowd, he's exciting. He did have a loss in the ABA semis or quarterfinals against Calvin Fawaz, who's now signed by MTK. Quite a character, Fawaz, with dynamite in both hands. And, he gave Fawaz some good rounds in that ABAs, and this will be a good fight.
And his second professional fight, the first time he was out, he was in with Kevin McCauley, who is in that 200 club, forget the Centurion club, he's in the double century club. And it was a 40-36 win. It was a very frantic start to the fight, the first round. Kevin was really giving it a go, and but he managed to eke out the win as expected. As you say, 25 years of age.
O'Hare has quite an unusual day job, trainee accountant. He was telling me about his day. He runs to work 5 miles, then runs from work to the gym another 5 miles. Trains in Hereford Boxing Academy of Tony, again where we saw Cliff Henry fighting out of.
Yeah, there's a few of those Henry fans that have certainly stuck around to watch this one.
But he said he's got ambitions, Midlands title, and then he wants to go above and beyond. So Midlands, English, British, Commonwealth, whatever that may look like, he's got ambitions.
Now, he was knocked back by COVID just after Christmas, so he's had a fairly short camp for this one, so around 3 weeks to get himself ready. but as he says, he's good with his weight loss and he can cut himself down, he eats properly. So he said that he didn't lose too much out of himself after being ill.
Yeah, he did say that to me. He said he normally stays on top of his nutrition and tries to keep things where they should be. Big personality, Liam O'Hare. He's done some tickets here.
Yeah, he's certainly not a stranger to the area. Actually, going back as a teenager, he was a dancer student at the Elmhurst Ballet School. As a lot of boxers actually do ballet, it's great for footwork, as I should say. But he's in a very different performing avenue tonight, in with an experienced fighter.
He told me he's going to see some more boxing skills tonight. In the amateurs, he was a bit crash bang wallop. Very strong, very fit, very game. He said we're going to see a bit of a boxing display put on tonight, so we'll see.
Yeah, opens up with the right hand to the body. Missing with that left hook. So I expect Hodgins to try to slow the action down, keep the fight centering.
Do you know what I'm going to say, Paul? I think we're going to see him on his bike and just trying to nick seconds here and there. Do the bare minimum, take the bare minimum, and give O'Hare rounds.
Yeah, all important rounds at this stage of his career. Lands a right hand early.
He's a strong kid, O'Hare. He can punch, and he's shown a bit more boxing ability than I thought he had. But he did promise me I was going to see this, and he is a talented kid. He's, I want to say he won the developments. Whether he did or not, I might be wrong there. But he definitely got to an ABA semis or quarters against Calvin Fawaz. He can box a bit, and he's a super fit kid.
Yeah, trained out of that here city of Hereford Boxing Academy by Tony Chadwick.
He did a lot of his amateur boxing, all of his amateur boxing at Lydney ABC, and I think it's Brian Higgs, the coach there, very well known and well respected amateur coach, Brian Higgs. So he'll be well schooled, O'Hare, and definitely knows his way around the ring. Very confident young man.
Yeah, placed himself into this one, landing a couple of nice single shots, but nothing particularly of note that's causing Josh Hodgins any trouble.
No, not a lot coming back off Josh, and that's kind of allowing O'Hare to just do what he has to do what he wants to do, really, and he's just showing his boxing skills when he wants. And
yeah, nice right hand boxing off the back ropes there, and a decent jab through, and Hodgins took them well. Liam just looking to hold centre ring, popping the jab out.
Yeah, lovely triple jab there, and he's got fast hands, and he's putting his shots together nice.
And again there, just manoeuvring Hodgins on his back foot, looking for those openings. He just keep a nice tight guard.
Yeah, Josh just on the back foot, isn't he, moving away and just trying to be as evasive as possible. Again, out of the Sean Cogan gym, who produced fighters in recent times. Well, still going now. Ben Fields is fighting for a light welterweight Midlands title, if I'm correct. And what a fighter Ben Fields is.
Solid opener from Liam.
Yep, great first round. Did what he had to do. Boxed very nicely. Got the rounds under his belt again, or the round under his belt. Impressive start. Just like to see him up the tempo a bit now, maybe put a few more shots together, bit of a better shot selection.
Push his way through the gears a little bit as the fight develops.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, his jab's lovely, but start to bring some other shots after the jab and start to try and break Josh down now. But it's difficult, he's boxed just before Christmas, it's just after Christmas now, and it's a difficult time to try and sell tickets. So credit to his support that have come out and bought tables and tickets. It's good to see.
O'Hare is saying the green shorts for those joining the stream late. Hodgins in the black. And a fast-paced start to the second.
Yeah, Josh is starting to fire back now. He's Both boys landing shots. But again, lovely jab by O'Hare. Showed a good display of boxing skills there.
Yeah, jabbing and pushing Hodgins back into the corner. Both men look fairly fired up at the start of that one, obviously after receiving their instructions in the corner. A nice little uppercut in the left hand. Good footwork again there from O'Hare. He's creating nice angles.
Yeah, nice little pivot there. Change angles up. Again, Josh firing back with some nice body work himself. But again, when he's inside the pocket with O'Hare, he's not throwing anything, so he's just cannon fodder for what Liam is throwing. And he's walked onto a lovely right hand there.
Yeah, good right hand there from Liam. Hodgins did take it well. Hodgins' jab missing wildly, and then Liam just picking him off with that left hand and then a straight right. Yeah, classy stuff there from O'Hare.
Yeah, lovely. And listen, he's getting rounds off Josh here, and where Josh is throwing stuff back, he's given Liam opportunities and openings to fire shots back and really practice what he's been working on in the gym. And he does look slick tonight. He told me he's going to put on a clinical boxing display, and so far he is. He's not really taking much, and he's letting his hands go, and he's landing pretty much everything he does throw. Looks like he's really enjoying himself there.
A bit of a stumble there from getting caught on the corner rather than from the shot. But
credit to Josh, he's throwing some shots back and he is engaging. But again, that can be the undoing for some of these away boys when they start to engage. Openings start to appear, and that's when Liam O'Hare starts to land some of these shots.
Yeah, O'Hare's confidence growing as he bobs off the back foot, landing shots and mixes a couple of nice shots into the body. Nice straight left hand there as well.
The thing is with Liam O'Hare, he keep coming at this pace all night. He's a fit lad, he really is. Good trainer, trains well and keeps himself in good nick, and you'll get this from him for 12 rounds.
Yeah, a bit more measured so far from O'Hare. So that first round against Kevin McCall, he was very gung-ho, but he's certainly picking his shots nicer this time.
Yeah, he did say...
It comes with experience, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, that first fight would have come with a bag of anxiety and nerves. And Kevin McCall is a veteran, he probably knows every trick in the book more than anyone, but he said he was going to put on a clinical boxing display, and he really is today. Lovely moves. Looks like he hurt Josh there.
Yeah, good acknowledgement from both at the end of that round.
Good display. I'll be very happy if I was Liam O'Hare's coach in the corner there, ladies and gentlemen watching at home. Solid performance. If you are tuning in from Hereford or Lydney, where Liam's from, hopefully you're impressed with the boxing performance that he's put on. He did tell everyone, or he told me today on the phone, that he's going to show everyone he has got some boxing skills to match his work rate and his engine. Just joined by Desi Newton at the mic there. He's just shooting off home. He looked quite happy with himself, smiling and grinning, so he'll have a trip home to Plymouth now.
Not a short drive home, but he's earned his money. Back to the action in the ring, and again another fast start to the round. Both men trading shots, but O'Hare certainly landing with much cleaner work.
Yeah, I'm a bit shocked we're seeing this. Josh is coming out rather ambitious, and again, don't want to say it and sound like a broken record, but that ambition could cost him and leave a lot of openings for O'Hare to come through and land these shots that he is.
Yep, Julian Morton in the comments backing that point up, saying he's taking his time and picking his shots lovely.
Yeah, superb boxing display by Liam O'Hare, and he seems to be enjoying it, and he did say to me this is what this one's about, practicing what he's been doing in the gym with his coach Tony and working on certain moves, certain punches.
Yep, good left to the body, and again nice little combination there.
But he's chipping away at him, Paul. He's catching him there. He caught him with a nice right uppercut, and he's chipping away at Josh, and you chip away enough and you might be able to chop the tree down.
Yeah, the variety's been good.
Lovely left hook there to the head. Whatever he throws, he's landing.
And he's not breathing heavy either. He seems quite comfortable in there so far.
Yeah, Paul, he's a very, very fit kid. But again, listen, credit to Josh. He's coming, he's game, he's having a pop at him, and he's going for it. And listen, without these away fighters, these fights wouldn't be happening. So, Desi Newton, Josh Hodgkins, they're all the lads that you need to see. Elvis Dube in the corner. But Josh is coming with a bit of ambition this round.
Yeah, lovely combination off the back foot there from Liam. And just misses with that right, but he just pulled it back a bit again, not looking to waste the shot.
Very elusive, slipping and sliding. Rolled a nice shot there, Liam O'Hare. But credit again, Josh Hodgkins is coming and he's trying to give it him.
Clubbing shots from Josh, but nothing landed particularly clear. And again, Liam just making that nice angle again. He's done that really well all night, hasn't he?
Yeah, a little pivot round with his feet, and then he's opened up a bit of space and landing a nice chopping right hand down there on Hodgkins' chin area, I want to say.
Yeah.
But caught him with a nice chopping right, and back on the back foot now for Hodgkins.
Yeah, that head's looking very static. And O'Hare's just picking him off now.
And listen, he's gonna get very tight because he's missing with a lot of these shots. So O'Hare's very evasive. He's not getting hit with much, if anything, really.
Yeah,
that's only going to tire Josh out.
A couple of decent right hands, and Hodges' corner is getting quite loud now as he's trying to implore their man to stick to the game plan and so get that head moving, because he has looked very static for the last minute or so.
Lovely 1-2 left up there from O'Hare, and he's starting to unload and land at will. Great third round, credit to Josh. He's still going, but this is an O'Hare fight. He's just got to come out and do the finish the job now, round 4.
Yeah, Josh getting a talking to in that corner. He's been in with a difficult fighter here tonight, and he's took quite a lot of shots so far. Definitely looks a lot more relaxed this time round.
Yeah, Paul, listen, Liam O'Hare is one to watch. He was, I want to say, 2-time Western Counters champion, maybe even 3 times. He's a dangerous lad. He can box, he can fight, he's fit, he's tough. He give a lot of prospects a hard night. But he did say his ambition is to get to a point where he gets either a promotional opportunity or an opportunity on TV where he can come in and cause the upset. I believe he's got the talent to do that, and he looks like one to watch here, definitely.
Fourth and final round. 2 more fights still to come tonight. Kane Baker in with Diego Valtierra, and Troy James headlining against Pavel Garage. So Pavel Garage has been in with the likes of Denzel Bentley, and they'll provide a stern test for Troy this evening, and Kane in with again the experienced Diego Valtierra. So a couple of good fights still to come. Plenty of action ahead. For those joining the stream late, Liam O'Hare in the ring currently dominating this one.
And a nice combination there, Paul. Liam O'Hare.
And I also saw wins for Sean Cooper, who outpointed Des Newton, Brandon Jones, who also outpointed Elvis Dube, and Cliff Henry, who dropped Ben Thomas on his way to a 4-round decision.
Now we've got Liam O'Hare, who is slowly but surely dismantling Josh Hodgkins. If I'm going to be picky of this performance, I'm going to say that O'Hare just leaves his chin up in the air when he does throw some shots, Paul, but that's me being very, very critical. And if I had to find a point to say, it'd be that. But apart from that, pretty faultless. Great shot selection, fit as a fiddle.
Yeah, Josh not looking to move there, is he? He's stood in the pocket all night. I think for people that may be watching at home, they may be probably think he's doing a little bit better than he is. But he has just stood there at Liam all night.
Yeah, listen, Paul, if you're stood in the pocket, you've got to be letting your hands go, or you're literally cannon fodder. And it's just a punch bag, and Liam O'Hare slipping and sliding. He's moving his feet well and creating other angles. And he's doing everything he needs to do here to systematically break down Josh Hodgkins, who did get told to keep his punches up. But lovely 1-2 down the middle there by O'Hare.
Yeah, nice right hand there from O'Hare. And Hodgkins is sort of rather chasing him around the ring now. It's looking, getting picked off.
You listen, everything he's just walking onto shots now. He's not really punching his way in. He's just walking in, and that's not a smart idea against someone who's fit, throws good straight shots. So everything he's walking onto, it's going to be doubling the impact.
O'Hare just looking to time one or two big punches. Again, he's got a very static target in terms of Hodgins' head, not a lot of movement.
Two game for his own good, Josh Hodgkins here. I'd like to see him just get on the back foot and box his way for the last part of this round. O'Hare doing a lovely job though, boxing, moving, and just he hasn't taken many clear shots, although I say that curse of the commentator misses with a wild shot.
Yeah, sloppy there from O'Hare, and he was made to pay a little bit. I think he knows that was a poor mistake as the final seconds of this one.
Lovely display of boxing by Liam O'Hare. One to watch for me, definitely. Stolen the show so far, Liam O'Hare and Cliff Henry. What a display by Hereford Boxing Academy, Paul.
Yeah, impressive there from Liam, who gives a bow to his opponent. I have to say that Josh Hodgins has got a very, very tough head, for lack of a better technical description. He took an awful lot of punches there, and he just seemed quite comfortable. He's having a quick chat to his corner, and
yeah, he's one very hard man, Josh Hodgkins. Credit to him. You can see why he's only been stopped once, because Liam O'Hare could have stopped many a man with those shots he was unloading tonight. But you'd expect to see a 40-36 points win from Mr. Kevin Parker.
Yeah, anything else would be a surprise.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, the referee Kevin Parker scores the contest 40 points to 36 for the winner,
Liam takes it.
Bit of ballet then, or a bit of dancing, I like it.
Yeah.
Big pirouette, if that's the correct terminology. I'm sure there might be a dancer online who'll tell me it's not, but I saw that was a big pirouette.
Yep, alluding back to his previous life as a ballet dancer.
The boxing ballet dancer, Liam O'Hare.
Yep. Dan will be speaking to Liam shortly as we build up to chief support of the night, Kane Baker, and with Diego Valtierra.
Liam O'Hare's manager, PJ Rolson, smiling ringside, obviously happy with that display. So would I be. Good performance. Fans seem happy. Liam O'Hare seems happy. A few more dance moves.
Liam, congratulations. You must be really pleased with that performance.
Yeah, no, it was good. I felt a bit flaggy in the last round, but I only had 3 weeks training camp, so I think I did the best I could with the time I had. Yeah.
You showed a really good shot selection. I thought your footwork was excellent tonight against a tough opponent in Josh Hodgkins.
Yeah, no, in my first fight, I came forwards quite a lot, and I was trying to be the aggressor. Sorry, I must have been harder than I thought. But this time I thought I'd try and go on the back foot a little bit more, counter punch, and just see how that fared me, especially having less fitness. I didn't know if I could come forward 3 or 4, so it paid off, which is good.
Especially when you're in there with those road warriors. One thing you know is that they're teak tough, and there's not many people who are going to bang them out, so it did give you an opportunity to get 4 good rounds under your belt. Yeah,
I thought he was really durable. He took the shots really good. I think there was only one time where I thought I might have rocked him a little bit with the uppercut in the first, but I didn't pounce on that because I knew if I didn't get him out of there then I wouldn't be lasting in the 4th, so I thought I'd take it steady, and I didn't see another opportunity because obviously he's a real durable top guy, good defence. Honoured to share the ring with him, really.
One thing we've noticed is from the ring walk to the fight to afterwards, there's always a smile on the face. It seemed like you're enjoying the journey.
Well, yeah, there'd be no point doing it if I didn't love it with that. So I just hope I can keep loving it all the way through as it gets harder and harder. But yeah, I mean, I'm actually smiling because obviously fight night is the one night I'm allowed to eat. So this is a muffin. You should see me in the camp. Not so smiley then. It's all like that for the camp.
Well, it was all smiles tonight, and just talk me through the pirouette at the end.
So I used to be a ballet dancer, so the pirouette's just sort of sticking to my roots and giving it a good old give old twirl. Basically, yeah, just sticking to my roots.
Really good performance, Liam. Really enjoyed watching you. Congratulations and well done. Thanks a lot.
And I'm sure we're going to see a big fight opportunity afterwards if he does get a win after another, keep busy fight. Opportunities will keep coming thick and fast for Kane. He's a big personality that TV want to see, promoters want to see him, and more to the point, he can fight a bit. So he ticks all the boxes. He just needs to tick the box tonight, which is, a routine win on paper. Coming out with the Ukraine flag on his chest.
Anyway, that was an awful situation, and it's nice to see Kane showing his support.
100% agree with you there, Paul. Again, he had a wealthy, knowledgeable coach in Errol Johnson before, but he's transferred over to the McCracken gym with both Spencers and senior, very, very knowledgeable man from a knowledgeable family, trained some good fighters, so he's in good hands again.
Yeah, his third fight with McCracken Jr. As I say, Baker, a former Midlands title holder, obviously fought for the English title, and he's looking to get back in the mix for the belts. I was watching at home in the white shorts with black trim, heavily tattooed Baker. Valtierra in the black shorts, with the Basque detailing.
Kane will be looking to impress today. He knows that his name carries a lot of weight with other fighters in his weight division. So his opponent might come and bring it, and Kane will be looking to put on a performance to put his name back in the mix with any other big fighters in his weight.
And it feels like Kane's been around a long time, but it's only his 6th year as a professional. I was surprised to read that earlier. He's been in with such some big names over the years, and again, this is a 3rd phase of his career almost. He's picked up these wins, and he'll be looking to get another one here tonight.
Yeah, no, 100%, and a lot of admiration for Kane. He's had his knockbacks, his losses, but he continues to come along and give it a go, and he sells a load of tickets, and he's a likeable lad. Big size difference here. Kane Baker almost dwarfs his opponent Diego and looks massive compared to him.
Yeah, this one's scheduled for 6.
For the first round.
And we're underway in this one. Again, as you say, you said I allude to the size difference there. Kane's certainly the much taller fighter.
Don't get me wrong, Diego a lot more compact, and I'm not saying he's out of shape, but not tall and lean, definitely shorter and stockier, as we can see on the screen.
Interesting to see how what Kane looks to do tonight. Again, he picked up that stoppage in his last fight. Whether he'll be looking to repeat that, or whether he'll just be happy to get the rounds in. Neither fighter landed anything in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's in a rush, does he? Just boxing nicely behind his jab. Plenty of lateral movement. Lovely double jab right hand. Didn't land the right hand, but the ambition was there. Fell a bit short with that jab.
Yeah, just looking to feel out with the jab, just trying to work the distance. And again, cautious opener. Valtierra looking to pop the jab out.
Yeah,
misses with his own right hand there.
Coming back with a bit of ambition, he's throwing some shots, giving Kane something to think about.
Kane keeping quite a tight guard.
Solid jab there by Diego.
Yeah, and he's moving well. Kane falling a little bit short with that right hand.
Took a couple of shots there, Kane, and they're not the kind of shots you want to be taking.
Yeah, Diego went on the front foot for the first time in the fight and had Baker push back, and he lands a stiff jab as well.
These shots look like, I'm not going to say they're having a huge effect on Kane, but he is feeling these shots. You can just tell by his legs, and Diego's obviously seeing something because his ambition's grown a little bit here just by seeing it.
Yep, lands a right hand and Kane with a flurry of punches.
And now we're going to see a gunfight here, I think.
It looks a live one. As I say, Valtierra's boxed on big cards, and he certainly won't be in awe of Kane Baker, and he's shown that early on.
Hopefully this can bring the best out in Kane. Lucky a 6-round fight, so he's got another 5 rounds here to. But yeah, listen, Diego fancies this. He's come in with a bit of ambition, and for me, he's landed some meaty shots.
He's winning the battle of the jabs, which is surprising for the small man, isn't he? His jab just seems to be landing that little bit cleaner. And Baker's just got to work his way into this one. He has got plenty of time.
I'll just call that first round.
Well, for the first 2 minutes, it looked a Baker round, but the better work, the cleaner punches have come from Valtierra. I think it'd be very difficult not to give the Spaniard the nod.
I was just about to have a go at you for sitting on the fence there, Paul. I'm going to go the same way as you. Diego, the Spaniard, he's come in and he's almost stole that in the last minute of the round because he's done the majority of the work and it's all eye-catching stuff, and he's landed some heavy blows. I'm not saying it's affected Kane, but for me, he's won the first round of this fight. Kane Baker, 10-9 down. I want to see back on the boxing skills, box and move, and don't try and engage too much. But I'm sure the McCrackens are going to be giving him some very, very helpful information and advice what to do.
And some stern words. As I say, Valtierra, a lot of these opponents when they come in, they don't read the script. It's only Valtierra's 12th fight, only been stopped for once. As I say, that was against the highly regarded Spaniard Juan Felix Gomez. He was 9-0 at the time, but again that fight went to the 7th round. That one scheduled for 10. But it is his first time fighting over in the UK.
What's concerning me here, Paul, is Kane's boxing well in spurts, leaving his feet a little bit behind her. That's the only concern. But then he's taking too many big shots, and Diego must see something, because he's not discouraged by what he's having back from Kane. That's what's worrying me, that he's still landing some big shots himself.
Again, wondering well with that jab. Kane starting to read it a little bit better now, better foot movement. But he's just struggling to close that distance, and he takes another right hand coming in.
Yeah, and there seems to be a bit more power on those shots than maybe we realise. Kane can just be a bit more assertive with his feet, take his feet in a bit quicker.
Yeah, he's complaining of a low blow, I think it was. Referee seemed keen to let them carry on. It looked like a low blow. It was hard to see what he intimated there. Referee didn't give any warning, so obviously nothing that he's seen.
Bit scrappy there. Diego had him in a headlock.
Yeah, he's given a warning for that, but again, just popping Kane with the jab.
Where he's so short, Paul, all it is he's almost slipping and jabbing at the same time, and he's catching Kane.
Yeah, better foot movement there from Baker as Valtierra's shot falls short. Next round, a flurry of punches. Again, I think one just got through onto the temple of Valtierra.
That's a bit better from Kane, knowing.
Again, chips a right hand in return. And Valtierra leading a little bit, that right hand now starting to telegraph that punch a little bit, which the Baker corner will be happier to see.
Scrappy fight this, quite a physical fight. They're getting up rough in close. Overreach there by Kane.
Yeah, a lot of movement from Valtierra, but his punch output has certainly been less this round. He shakes himself loose. Baker looking to just work his way into the fight now, dropping little jabs into the body.
Yeah, stabbing away at his body, which is a nice little move.
Referee giving Baker a bit of a telling off for punching low, but Valtierra did seem quite quick to complain.
Nice jab to the body there by Diego, stabbed it into Kane's stomach.
Yeah, and it's certainly getting rough in there. Both men exchanging punches right up to the bell.
Good round that, pause. Tough out to send that one. You'd probably have to go Baker, but that might be the biasness for me swinging over because I'm a Kane Baker fan, but these are close rounds.
Yeah, I think Baker probably got himself back into the fight in that one. Valtierra just a little bit too quiet in the middle part of the round. Ended strongly, started well, but the better work was coming from Kane.
Kane Baker's got to switch on now and listen to his cornerman, because I'm sure they're going to be telling him things he needs to work on and get done to get this fight over the line.
Yeah, this one's scheduled for 6, third of the way through. We've got it one round apiece on our unofficial card. As I say, Kane looks full of energy certainly as he steps off his stool, not breathing at all. Again, he's done these rounds, he's done these distance, and he's been active of late.
Yeah, straight out to the middle of the ring, and he wants to engage with a jab as
quick as possible. Again, Valtierra, he's got to be busier than he was in that last round.
Plenty of good feints, and that's a nice combination off Kane Baker. That's what we want to see. Plenty of lateral movement, and he's come back with a flurry of shots.
Again, Baker just holding the middle of that ring. Valtierra a bit guilty of pushing down, but it has been a bit rough and ready in there this fight. And Valtierra's shot just popping off the arms of Baker. Good defensive work from the experienced former Midlands champion. And Valtierra falling way short again.
Nice bit of footwork by Baker there, just taking that step back, making his opponent miss. Just if he could have made him pay as well, that would have made it, punch perfect.
Good right hand there from Baker. Until he comes back with a left.
This isn't your routine win here, Paul. He's got to think about this. It's not your routine away fighter.
No, and maybe that's what he needs at this moment in his career, a proper fight, a proper test.
Yeah, listen, I'll agree with you on that. The last thing you need is someone who's just going to come and give you rounds.
Valtierra really is working him hard on the corner. And so the Baker fans are on their feet trying to will more out of there, man.
Very animated across the other side of the room. Nice jab by Kane.
Pace slowing again a little bit as the round's gone on. And this is, I think, works more in Kane's favour. I think when it's a boxing match, he's winning. I think when it gets messy, that's when he's walking onto a shot or two. His right hand falls a little bit short and takes a...
It's almost like he's not taking his feet in with him, Paul. That's how I'm reading it. Might be at a wrong angle to see it, but that's how I see it. It spurts Kane's boxing lovely, but then it's just taking a few too many shots when he's not busy himself.
Valtierra looking to move as much as he can. Baker just struggling to just pin him down, isn't he? He's not been. I think when Kane's at his best, often is when he's got his opponent pushed against the ropes again, throwing those flurry of shots. And
100%.
That's been difficult for him so far.
I'm going to score that a 10-10 round. I've got this level playing field at the minute. 1 round apiece, and they're sharing one.
Yeah. Halfway through this one.
I don't know how the viewers at home are scoring it. I hope I'm not offending any K Baker fans.
Yeah, let us know in the comments how you've got it 3-3. So Valtierra's last fight was in with Anthony De Bruyne. So unbeaten 10-0 fighter fighting out in the Middle East. And his last 3 fights have all been in with unbeaten guys. So mixed at a good level. He had a few home wins in Spain, including one over Robin Deakin.
Rockin' Robin Deakin, that's a name I haven't heard for a while.
Yeah, stopped Deakin in the 3rd round with an injured arm.
Baker back out on the jab.
Looking to he needs a clear round, doesn't he? He needs a comfortable clear round, I think, to really set himself into the second half of this fight.
Yeah, no, 100%. This is a fight where either man could win it here, and this level playing field is going into the second half, so it's any man's fight really. The work rate coming from Baker at times, but the cleaner work for me coming from Diego at the minute. Bit better from Baker there, double jab right hand.
Yeah, that's it. That's the combination of punches. That's where he's got to look, where he's trying not to reach in with those single shots. But he's got a small target. I think when you're in with a small opponent, sometimes working to the body is slightly more in your advantage. Valtierra's head's a small target. He holds his shoulder up really high, his left shoulder.
And he crouches down a bit as well, Paul. Makes it quite difficult to land the body shots. He's got quite long arms for a little man, so his body's quite protected.
Right hand from Baker just falling a little bit short, and Valtierra's jab missing. Again, Baker back with the combination and stepping out. Better work from him again with a punch on the belt line, but no complaints from Valtierra.
Better round for Kane Baker in my opinion, Paul. He's landing more, a bit more assertive with his jab. That's better. Punch and move. Don't stand there. Better there again. Lovely. Back on the jab, Kane Baker. That would be nice.
Better work from Kane there.
Oh, 3-4 punch combination landed. Flush on the chin. But Diego's walked straight through it.
Yeah, good combination of shots there from Baker. Best round of the fight so far.
Yeah, definitely. Landing a nice jab to the pit of the stomach there, the old bread basket. And he comes back with 4, 5, 6 punches himself. Albeit nothing bothered him, but he still came back with those punches.
Yeah, certainly giving it a go, but the accuracy of his work has declined as the fight's gone on.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Paul. It's definitely a Kane Baker round as we stand at the minute.
And just dropping in that jab to the body again, all scoring punches. Valtierra with a flurry, but again nothing landing. Kane's really starting to read those shots now. And sometimes it can take a few rounds, which is why he's sort of fighting at the 4-round distance. Obviously this is a 6-round. It can be so dangerous because
of course, yeah,
it can often take fighters a couple of rounds to work themselves into it.
Listen, Paul, this is no idiot here. This guy's a bit awkward. He's completely shorter as well. It's a different kind of fight, so it's going to take a bit of time to get used to what he's got to do and stick to the game plan. And maybe change the game plan, because this might not be the fight they're expecting. Kane Baker also been in the ring with the current light welterweight British and Commonwealth champion Sam Maxwell. I think over 6 rounds. Don't quote me on that, guys, I might be wrong, but he has been in the ring and shared the ring with him, Conor Benn, Myra Mills, you name it, Kane Baker's been in there with him. As gloves will travel.
Fifth round of this one. A fight which Baker should now have a lead. Obviously the referee may have seen it slightly different and he may have been giving every round to Baker, but
I've got Kane Baker 1 round up as we stand.
Valtierra just struggling now to find home for anything really. Jab falling short there, and again Baker starting to box quite nice and smart.
Yeah, looks a bit more relaxed now, Kane. His feet seem to be working in sync with his hands, which is a bit better.
Yeah, there's a tired right hand from Valtierra.
Hands up nice and tight there, Kane, didn't take any. Still fainting, still moving well, and letting his hands go. Perfect by Kane Baker.
Valtierra with a flurry of shots left up to the body, and Kane turns him nicely. Good boxing there from Kane Baker.
Nice for him to stab that jab everywhere. Stomach, chest, head, shoulder. Hit him wherever you can if you're Kane Baker.
And Valtierra just unleashing a 1-2 combination, but doesn't land particularly clean. Baker looking for that body shot now. That jab to the body, which has been a high percentage punch for him so far.
Yeah, as Paul, I'd just like to see him throw more than 1 punch. Singles aren't going to get through to a man like this, because he's taking his feet back every time Kane throws a shot. He's moving back anyway, so we need more than 1 shot.
Right, looks like a bad cut on the top left of Valtierra's forehead. Difficult from our vantage point. It's not going into the eye, so hopefully shouldn't impact him from that point of things. It's just whether the ringside doctor may judge it. But with only a round and a little bit to go, hopefully the fight will be able to continue. It's hard to see if it was from a clash of heads or from a legitimate punch, and both men trading shots.
It's also hard to score this round here, because both men are going.
Yeah, a little bit of desperation away from Valtierra, but Baker finding himself haunched over a bit too much there. And
when Kane doesn't engage and he just boxes, he's winning these rounds. But when he engages in all this stuff, he's starting to lower his own level. He starts to lose the rounds, and he needs to just box and move and do what he's being told to. That's a bit better by Kane Baker.
Valtierra, bizarre there, looking to lift his leg up. Getting a bit messy in this round. As I say, he looks quick to complain.
I'm going to give it another 10-10 round there, Paul, and I know some of our viewers and people tell me not to sit on the fence, but I've got Kane Baker 1 round up going into the last round. Now I may have to re-watch this in the morning because I don't want to offend Kane. He may be 3 or 4 rounds up, but for me at the minute he's 1 round up going into the last round.
Yeah, I think it's understandable if the referee's probably got it a little bit wider, but it's been a competitive fight throughout. We'll have to see how that cut, but if you look at the 2 corners there, Valtierra blowing pretty hard. Kane looks pretty cool and composed, listening to the instructions from his corner.
Yeah, listen, Kane looks very comfortable, doesn't look like he's puffing and panting, but for me he's got to get back to his boxing, not engage with this man who for me is a limited boxer and seems at home when he's engaging up close. If Kane can just keep him at the end of his jab and keep it nice and long, for me that's where the better opportunities are going to come.
Right, final round of this one, penultimate contest of the evening. So Troy Jones, Pavel Garage coming up shortly. Kane Baker's certainly been in a live one, in with an opponent, Valtierra. Looks like they've got that cut under control.
See, it was a good start by Kane, and now he's gone a bit quiet on the work rate, and I think he needs to be busier and he needs to get on the end of his jab and just start boxing again. Easier said than done, I know, but up here, up close, it's not working for him in my opinion.
Yeah, better there from Baker though, left hook inside and right hand straight down the middle.
Right, yeah.
Valtierra got caught very square on there, and there was a big old target for Baker to take. Looks like they're going to just sort the tape out on Valtierra's glove. The referee calls timeout.
Kane Baker looking quite relaxed in the corner there.
Yeah, back to it.
Again, engaging 2 in close. He's just although he's landing a few shots, but he's taking some as well, and this isn't good to see.
Yeah, both men fighting in a phone box, but Baker's landing the better punches. It is rough, it is scrappy in there.
Nice 1-2, that's it, and then get on your bike and get your dancing shoes on, Kane Baker. Do your work and get out. That's better, see, a bit more head movement. Yeah. Lovely, there you go again.
That cut is getting, it's just been reopened.
But this is where he undoes himself, staying in the pocket and took too many shots.
Yeah, I think he's enjoying a bit of a tear up in there. He's taking some unnecessary punches, but
listen, Paul, value for money us as spectators, but for a keep busy fight, maybe that's a bit too disrespectful, but for there's bigger fights coming if he wins this. Stay safe, get on your bike.
Yeah, it's certainly been a more difficult than expected task here, I think, for Kane. And a fight that I'm sure he is winning, but not one I'm sure he'll be looking to repeat anytime soon.
Good bit of head movement there, lateral movement, bit wild though.
Straight right to the body.
That's better, that's what we need to see. But listen, these kind of fights are good. He hasn't had a dummy just come over to lay down for him or to not throw anything back. He's had someone come and pull it on him, and him and the McCrackens will learn something from this. This will be a great fight for him. I'm sure they'll have plenty to go back to the gym on Monday with. And
the final seconds equal way in this one. And what has been an interesting test. It's been scrappy, it's been messy at times.
Good fight by Kane Baker. Both lads showed some grit, determination in there, and good skill set. 59-57 Kane Baker for me. I might be wrong, but
Valtierra celebrates after the end of the fight, but I think that's more probably just celebrating his own performance rather than thinking he's actually won it. Tough night for Baker. He showed his class in moments, but he was in with a difficult opponent. He didn't make it easy for him at any point.
it's a weird one, Paul, isn't it? Because if that was a title fight, you'd be singing, shouting from the rooftops. It was a great performance, but because it's in brackets a keep busy fight, there's room for improvement, I guess. It just depends how you look at it, but
it's the risk of the unknown, isn't it? These sort of opponents where we just don't know. Elvis Dube, we've seen him so many times. Des Newton, we know about these guys. We get someone like Valtierra, who's never fought on these shores before. He'll be looking to impress because he wants other fights, and we just await the card.
Wow.
Kevin Parker scores at 57. Difficult one. Adam, you had it right with the scoring. A lot of close rounds.
59-57 for me, not 57-50. But listen, who am I to judge? He's a British Boxing Board of Control referee, and I don't know what to make of that one.
Yeah, difficult one that again. If you, the way you justify it, I think with me, would be in terms of the style of the fight. Now, that didn't look like a Kane Baker fight. That definitely was a fight where the style was kind of forced upon him. Now, I think he still landed the better shots and landed the better work, but it was a bit more forced on him.
It's a difficult one. I think it depends what you like. Listen, I'd like to see a rematch. Definitely want to see a rematch of that, Paul. I don't know if we're going to see Diego come for an interview. Might not have a translator.
Yeah, not sure on that. We'll have to just double check again. Kane, understandably, has gone back to the changing rooms. Obviously, very disappointed with that result.
Tony Marshall, what do I think? I think that was a 59-57 to Kane Baker, but I guess it's it all depends what you're looking at. Listen, I've seen the comments saying biased. I wouldn't say biased. I think he won the fight. It was close. Depends what you like, but yeah, difficult one to score. Let's see a rematch. I think that'd be a good rematch over 8 rounds. Bring back the international challenge bouts. Do it for one of those.
Next winning ticket, ladies and gentlemen, 376.
Kieran Gray, love you, Adam Harper. Hope you're well, Kieran. Slammers Gym up in Talford. If you're from around the area, get along there.
Next winning ticket, 551. We're 551 to 555.
Baker robbed, I've seen. Yeah, listen, it's very it's hard to say that a foreign fighter's been robbed. Come over here and they've got a draw, but for me, Kane Baker did win the bout, but it's hard to say, isn't it? Just waiting for the raffle to finish, guys, then we'll be on to our last fight of the evening.
Just a final contest of the evening to go, ladies and gentlemen. And just before the boxers do come out, BCB promotions.
Good to see Liam O'Hare going to thank all his fans individually. Nice touch up. I can keep reiterating, without the fans, these boxers can't box. not in the home corner anyway. They need their ticket sales, they need the support to come out, watch them fight.
Please welcome the Minister of the Ring from Slovakia,
What about Brad Ray? Did he take Brad Ray the distance? Do you know what, I want to say Brad Ray's only just started to stop a lot of people, you know. To start with, he wasn't stopping a load, but now he seems to be the man that, if he hits you, he's putting you away at middleweight. And listen, that's a fight down the line for the winner of River Wilson Bent versus Tyler Denny, I think. I think he was talking about the English title. Jones looks a confident young man. Again in the Costello camp. I'm not sure if they're still at the butcher shop gym, but obviously Coach John Costello had a good win with Brandon Jones earlier on today, so he'll be looking to get the second one of the night. Oh wow, so he's moving quite quick then, Paul. Yeah. Third fight in 5 months.
Yeah, he was back in the ring in December against Anthony Willery. As he touched upon earlier, being led by John Costello, who's his first coach when he took up boxing at the age of 8.
As I said before, John Costello got a good stable building and he'll be looking to get a second good win tonight.
He's going in with the likes of Christian Hoskin Gomez. So also fighting from Chelmsford Wood.
He's got a good set of fans here. A lot of people come out to watch him, which is good, and he looks tidy. Nice solid jab.
First round of this one, so scheduled for 6. Jones in the dark grey and orange shorts. Garage in the blue shorts with the white trim.
Snappy, solid jab there by Jones. Looks comfortable in that.
Garage, as I say, on his professional ledger, 7 wins, 26 defeats, 3 draws, but just stopped the once in those 26 fights. And hasn't been stopped for a little while now. He was knocked out by Kieran Smith back in 2018.
Oh, Kieran Smith, a good fighter, yeah, the Scottish kid.
Yeah, he's gone on to mix it at WBC fringe title level.
Now campaigning at middleweight after he had a stoppage loss against Troy Williamson in the British light middleweight eliminator. But Kieran Smith, top fighter, very good fighter, good amateur. Listen, Troy Jones here looks solid behind that jab. Ramrod jab looks very, very good. I like his style.
Yeah, good jab from Jones. As I say, he's looking patient in the ring. Got caught a little bit on his feet there, but it was only a very minor shot, nothing to give him much trouble. Right hand landing inside there again. Again, he's in with an opponent in Garage. He's going to keep that tight guard, Adam. He's going to be defensive.
Yeah, he's going to have to look for opportunities tonight, Paul. He's going to have to look for opportunities and try and create his own opportunities, because they might not be there all night. He's going to have to try and find openings, and if he can't find them, he's going to have to make them. Again, solid double jab right hand. Bit of meat behind that right hand. You can hear it all the way over here.
Yeah, nice work there from Jones, and his the right hand coming back in from Garage looked a bit laboured. But he just catch Jones with the jab, backing up against the ropes. Nice right hand there from Jones.
Oh, yeah, again. I like that, didn't just go back in a straight line, went back, then peeled off to the side.
It's a punch that's working well for him early in this one. So Garage is keeping that guard high, just dropping out little shots to the body, and Jones a little bit wild there. Adam caught fans have a little bit square on, no danger though, but
yeah, you know, there's times that could be just the nature of the beast. You're boxing a lad like this, and whenever Jones wants to, he's controlling the fight, isn't he? I mean, he's working lovely behind his long straight shots, and sometimes it's easy to switch off against his opponents, but for me, Troy Jones has some talent as well. I'm not sure if it is a brother of Brandon or cousin, but either way, both top lads, and both got bright futures, that's for sure.
A couple of comments in the chat about Baker, Kane Baker, saying he was robbed on that. It was a close fight, it was a competitive fight. I say Adam Harper ringside had that 59-57, because it was, as you saw it, some close rounds, but you definitely thought he did enough to get the win.
Yeah, I definitely think he did enough to get the win, but listen, I know some people don't like giving 10 rounds, but if it's an even round, it's an even round. You can't just give someone a 10-9 round because you don't like the colour of their socks or whatever it may be. So for me, Baker won it by 2 rounds, but I could see it being maybe 1 round, but for me, he definitely won it by 2.
Yep, second round of this one, scheduled for 6. Jones looking to establish that jab again early. Patient start from him, as I say. He's not looking to rush and hurry his work.
Oh, lovely there. Walked him onto a right uppercut. Good work there by Jones. It's a solid jab. It almost reminds me of a bit of Nathan Cleverly. I don't know what it is about it, but
good jab, and he really led him onto that punch, didn't he? And Grudge got caught square. No, he's faint with that jab, isn't he, Jones? Now he's popping it out.
Yeah, it's good work here. I like it, and it's very smart. But the thing that worries me is the more he's hurting his opponent, which he is, or maybe not hurting the wrong word, but the more he's hitting him, the more he's going to go into a shell. So it's a difficult one, isn't it, Paul? Because
very few opportunities for counter punches so far. Just that one earlier in the round.
The more Troy lands and hurts him, he's just going to go into a shell. And
that's the challenge as well, again, for the home fighters in these kind of fights, where if they're naturally more of a counter-punching style, but they're not having much thrown at them, they're having to probably fight different to how they will when they get up to that kind of championship level.
No, I'm quite with you on that, Paul. I agree with you. So
Jones looking to again boxing a bit. Nice wide stance he has as well. Covers the ground well.
Lovely what he's doing here. He can't really do a lot else because his opponent isn't giving him any other opportunities, or there's not really a lot of any openings, so he's having to create them, which he is doing nicely. He's walking him onto some shots, and his jab's working perfect. Just when he peeled off there, if you can pop him with another shot like he did earlier on in the fight.
It's steady, it's relaxed.
Both these Jones boys got good boxing brains. Good defence.
Nothing landed there. Left hand just scored on the gloves.
He's a lovely stand-up fighter, Troy Jones. Just everything he does is textbook down the middle. Peels off again. Sadly into the corner though. Get out of that corner. Back on your jab. Everything you see. Oh, lovely. Double jab, left hook.
Yeah, better work there again from Jones to finish the round.
And that's it. As he peels off, he's opening. When he finds his openings, he's letting his hands go, and he's landing some real good shots in there.
Yeah,
great round.
And he's not forcing those openings, is he? He's waiting for the opportunities to come to him.
Doing everything he needs to do here today. Troy Jones boxing lovely behind his jab, straight shots.
Yeah, Costello animated in the corner there, showing him exactly the kind of shots he wants to be seeing. Should take this moment while we're in our main event just to say a quick thank you to obviously our sponsors, Alliance Scaffolding, GPW Consulting and Jobsworth Recruitment, helping to make these shows happen, helping to make these streams happen. And also Wellborn Grab Hire Limited from our own Jason Wellborn.
Bit scrappy there, but Jones ties him up. And back on a jab, I'd like to think. I said just keep him at jab, keep him at the arm's reach. Popping that jab out. That's all he needs to do.
It's steady from Jones, isn't it? But has he got to start stepping through the gears a little bit now? And is that what Costello was just telling him in the corner?
Yeah, listen, I think potentially, Paul, that could be. But again, like I said earlier, it's easy to do with this type of opponent. Jones hasn't looked out of his, he's not looked endangered at all, has he? So it's easy to slip into that first gear and just stay in there because everything he's doing is hitting him and he's landing. Doesn't really need to do much else. But I get what he's saying. It would be nice to see him step through the gears, but it's difficult sometimes because everything he is doing is, is good enough.
Yeah, what he's doing is working. He's winning the rounds. He's won every minute of this fight so far. Right to the body, just going through the the elbows of Garage.
Ties him up nicely there, that's all he needs to do.
Yeah, when it's clumsy work like that from his opponent, that's the right thing to do, isn't it? You know, tie him up and then get yourself back on the front foot.
But you know, Troy's going to learn a bit here because his opponent's coming, he is throwing some shots, he's causing him he's giving him something to think about, Paul, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what he needs in these kind of fights. Different problems to learn from. But so far so good. If you're John Costello, you're going to be happy with this in the corner.
Again, good work there from Jones, just controlling the distance. Falls a little bit short with that uppercut.
Little check left hook there.
And again, scrappy stuff from Garage. He's looking to kind of eke the seconds away of this round.
Landed an overhand right there, but took well by Jones.
Yeah.
And Troy back on the jab again.
A bit of a haymaker swing there, but got through. Well, they're woken Jones up a little bit. He wasn't already alert.
Lovely right hand there. Looked like it stunned him a bit.
Yeah, best punch of the fight landed there from Jones. And a solid finish to what is the third round of this one, scheduled for 6.
Impressive third round there by Jones, like that. Solid right hand at the end, giving him something to think about.
Great to see so many of the crowd have stuck around for this one. As I say, they've seen their guy fight earlier on and making the most of the full night, making the most of the ticket. So a bit of a wry smile there from the corner of Jones.
Yeah, listen, he's got a lot to be happy with, Paul. Solid performance so far.
Fourth round of this, our main event. Troy Jones has dominated the action so far through 3.
Yeah, he's done everything needed and wanted of him, hasn't he? He's putting on a solid boxing display here and he's performing well.
Good job there. Again, just relying on the single shots. And the pace certainly a lot slower than the previous fight we were watching.
Yeah, 100%. Kane Baker gave value for money. Jones over here giving an absolute masterclass boxing performance. Just boxing behind his jab, lovely straight shots. Real solid performance. He's got to be happy with this. Him and his team, as I say that, he's landed a solid 1-2 down the middle and to the gut.
Yep.
Perfect 1-2s. Yeah, listen, Troy Jones is definitely one to watch. Again, this is another light heavyweight coming through, isn't it? We've got a crop of them coming through.
Yeah, caught him coming in again. He'll have to grab, landed a nice jab, but walked onto a Jones right hand. I think each of those shots is just taking a little bit of the ambition away from Garage. But it's patient stuff so far from Jones. As I say, looking for those openings.
Yeah, he's boxing well, and like I said, he's just, don't want to use the word playing it safe, but he's just doing everything he needs to do, everything behind his jab, and he's working well, so he doesn't need to change it up. Lovely right hand again. Oh, lovely 1-2-3, left, right, left, straight down the middle.
Nice work there from Jones. He finishes that combination with a nice right hook to the body. He's getting behind that jab. Now Garage is starting to hold his guard a lot higher now. It's just where Jones has got to look to possibly switch that jab to the body to kind of open up the
yeah, this is where he needs to create other opportunities, but where the double jab right hand upstairs has worked all night, he's busting him up really, isn't he? But like you said, his guard's coming up, so he needs to look at other opportunities now downstairs, and I'm sure he will. Oh, he's walking onto that right uppercut every time. It's a lovely shot that Troy Jones throws.
Yeah, clumsy from Garage, that wasn't it, and he caught himself square, and Jones did not miss that opportunity to land a good punch.
He's just peppering him with that jab all night, Paul. Singles, doubles, trebles. And he throws a lovely lead left hook as well.
Yeah, nice right to the body.
Perfect boxing here by Troy Jones.
Now, you can see why Garage has only been stopped the once. He's certainly a durable man.
Yeah, listen, he's tough, isn't he? He's tough, and he absorbs the shots well. I mean, what else would you want to see from Troy Jones if you were in his corner tonight? What would you want to see?
It's difficult, isn't it? I think it's always getting the right balance. You know, you want to excite the crowd and you want to keep the fans happy, but he's fighting a sensible fight, and that shouldn't be something that should be criticised, really, is it? You know, he's waiting for those opportunities. He's not going in gung ho. We saw in the previous fight that the risk of doing that, of trading shots.
Yeah,
you never know what the referee's going to look at and see. So he's winning in a clinical fashion.
Yeah, I'm with you, Paul. I agree. Everything he's doing is perfect for me. Punch perfect performance so far. Good shot selection. I like the lead left hook, or the left hook off the jab. He's boxing smart. Steady start again by Jones, everything behind the straight jab and the occasional rear hand, but he's just keeping him at arm's length. Beautiful boxing. Took one there, but took it well.
A bit of spray, looked probably a bit more of a shot than it was.
But straight back on his jab. It's great to see. Listen, he's staying composed, he's not engaging too much, and he's not getting emotionally involved or
not being wasteful at all, is he? He's boxing a very smart fight.
And again, these are invaluable rounds. He's giving him something that some of his other opponents may not have given him. He's firing back, and he's definitely giving him food for thought.
Yeah, just takes a jab, just cuts him on the ear, and he walks onto a couple of punches there. Costello just shouting at him to get back on his jab.
Sensible boxing, that's what you want to hear. And there you go, back on the jab. Keep him at arm's length. And he'll win this all night as he is. But again, Paul, I will say, you're going to get caught sometimes. When you're in a fight, it's a 6-round fight, so you're going to take some shots. And again, it's easy to switch off against some fighters like this. In a much liver fight, you'd see an even better version of Troy Jones. I like what I'm seeing. It's definitely another prospect coming through.
Yeah, another one off the conveyor belt from Costello's gym. And he takes a right hand there. He's got to not look to be sloppy. You know, he's got to keep that guard again. Like you say, you're going to take a punch in a 6-round fight, but come back with his own shots. A good right hand.
Yeah, he's putting the shots together while he's listening to John Costello. Costello's saying one up, one down, and he did it. And he's starting to slow his opponent down now. He's listening well.
Yeah, certainly a very animated corner, and pouring the man on.
Again, this is where you don't want to get too involved. Back on the jab now, Troy.
Yeah, that's exactly what John Costello just shouted out to him, then back on his jab, but he takes a couple of right hands.
Great fight, it's livened up here, but when Troy's on his jab and his straight shots, he looks superb. That's all he needs to do now for the rest of the fight. He's winning this comfortably. That's better. Throws his jab, slips out the way, ties him up. Perfect. That's a nice finish of the round.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a bit of something firing back at him at the end of that round. That was good to see. Coped with it well.
Yeah, picked up a little bit, that one. Final round coming up. Final round of this fight and final round of the show. Another busy night of action, 3+ hours, free to air boxing.
Some solid performances tonight. Looking at all the boys, you know.
More boxing on this weekend. Obviously, there's a small amount of Lawrence Okoli's World Heavyweight title fight on Sunday.
Yeah, he's meant to be in a real live fight. Listen, I don't know a lot about the Polish lad he's fighting, but apparently he's meant to be a very live opponent.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Sislak, and obviously the Scotland versus England clash as Josh Taylor takes on Jack Catterall. That's had a fiery weigh-in as both men grab each other by the throat. I'm sure mostly for the cameras, but
listen, I don't know. I think there's genuine hatred there, Paul, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to stick it on the line and say I was Josh Taylor through and through, saying it was a bit of a mismatch, but I think he's a bit done at the weight, if I'm honest. He looked awful at the weight, and that could have a detrimental impact on him.
I think this will be his last fight at 140 pounds before looking for those mega fights at 147. He's got to come through that first, but
a bit like our man Troy Jones here. He is coming through it, boxing lovely, but he's just got to continue to see this fight out like he does, with a lovely left right down the middle, controlling the ring nice.
Mixed up there with that lead right hand as well, which is good. Again, you're giving different angles, you're looking for different shots, and nicely doubling the jab up.
Very impressed the way Troy Jones takes his feet out of action as well. He's takes himself out of trouble. He doesn't engage too much.
Yeah, and the punches don't necessarily need to be damaging shots, do they? But it's keeping Garage busy. It means he's not able to get his own punches off.
Of course, yeah, just deterring him a bit and then just chipping away at him, which he has done all night. For me, it's a solid performance. And again, lovely double jab right hand. I'd be very happy if I was Mr. John Costello tonight. He's had 2 boxes on, 2 wins, 2 very good performances. I don't want to speak too soon, but so far so good.
Just told for a warning for a punch behind the back of the head.
Both boys performed well tonight, the Joneses.
I think it's Garage's partner in the corner, imploring him on. But Jones finishing the fight strongly.
Yeah, looks solid again.
Digging in that right hand to the body, and another right hand pushes Garage back.
The fans are starting to get a bit animated now. It's good to see Troy Jones if he steps on the gas.
They're enjoying that flurry.
Good little trade-off here, it's going well.
Both men exchanging punches, and Jones taking the right hand as he backs out the way.
They're firing back nicely with straight shots. Straight down the middle.
Yeah, more good work there from Jones.
Good round, and again it's giving him good experience in the ring, but Troy Jones is
final seconds of this one. Jones has won every round. After a slow start, it's really picked up.
Yeah, I like that one. That was a good fight, that, Paul. Good bout.
The fans seem happy with what they've seen as well.
Great performance. Overall, good night in the office for John Costello. Good night in the office for the Hereford Boxing Academy gym. I still think it was unfortunate for Kane Baker getting a draw. I still had him down 59-57.
Yeah, plenty of action, plenty of fights. As I say, for those who are joining us for the first time, we do this all the time. We were back last week in Wolverhampton at the Hangar Event Centre. BCB's next show is on next week, next Friday. So thank you for everyone that's tuned in this evening on YouTube. And keep a look to BCB social, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at BCB Boxing for all the latest news and shows. And we just await the formalities of the scorecard on this one.
60-54, 60-55. Troy Jones didn't drop around, but he may have shared one of them. Maybe, we'll see. Great performance.
Jones takes it 58-56. Okay, more competitive probably than we saw it, but it was a
good solid performance. Definitely one to be happy with.
I think the ref possibly gave him a share of the latter part of the fight. Quite impressive work from Jones and a good night all round for the Costello gym.
Yeah, great night in the gym for them. Also for the Hereford Boxing Academy and everyone that's joined in to view it today. It's been a good show.
Hopefully we're grabbing a word with Troy shortly before we wrap up this evening.
Troy, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Good, mate. Good. First 6 rounder out of the way. I think I started to fade in the 5th. I thought that's the only round I gave him. I thought I shared it, but could have given him the last round. Don't think I shared the last 2 rounds to him, but good opponent.
Real good opponent, real good learning fight, and like you say, it was really important to get those 6 rounds under your belt.
Definitely. Like I say, I'm going to keep pushing for the 6 rounders now. I think they suit me better. I just need to get used to it mentally. But yeah, good opponent. Hard head, man. I was hitting him with right hand. And my knuckles and I don't think he's putting his head down, but he's experienced, isn't he? So, good opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. And what does the rest of 2022 hold in store for you?
Busy. What we on February? Nice to get another 3. Maybe 4. We'll see how busy Errol keeps us. But yeah, definitely a few more, mate. And hopefully be on the domestic scene, Midlands, around the Midlands area next year. But yeah, just get experience now.
So what you're looking at, another 6 round and move up to 8 and then go for that Midlands area?
I'll get a couple more. I ain't going to rush it, mate. I didn't have the most amateur background, but I feel like I'm more 6 round fight. When I get myself ready for it, I'll have a few more 6s and we'll speak to John, and when John thinks I'm ready, mate, we'll go for it.
How much are you enjoying life in the pro game?
Wicked, mate, wicked. Loving every minute of it. Nights like this, mate, you can't buy 'em, mate. They're wicked.
Just finally a word for your fans. They were raucous, they were loud, they were supporting.
They always are, mate. Big up the fans and big up if anyone's watching as well, mate. On we go.
Right, well done tonight. Of what he's all about, both of those guys out of John Costello's gym. I was gutted for Kane Baker, to be honest with you. I thought he'd done enough. He's been on the road enough times himself, and you know when you're on the road you don't always get the decision. As the home fighter tonight, thought he might have been able to get that W, to be honest with you, Paul.
Yeah, it was a competitive fight certainly for Kane, but one that I'm sure will be disappointed, but it wasn't a loss and he can certainly bounce back. I look for the prospects in action again this evening. A couple of good wins for the home guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Cliff Henry, we spoke about him before. I really enjoyed watching Cliff tonight. Really, I thought he showed some real quality. And I'd got a little bit of a preconception of a 40-year-old turning pro of what to expect. That didn't come to fruition. I thought he boxed well. And there's a journey for him now. I don't know what that journey looks like. I'm not quite sure.
A lot of support from Hereford, didn't he, this evening? They really turned out for him.
Yeah, great support from Hereford, and he's managed by PJ Rouse, and will have a plan for him. And it was enjoyable, but my favourite fighter tonight was Liam O'Hare. I thought that he boxes with a smile on his face. Like I said in the interview, he was smiling at the weigh-in, he was smiling when he put his gloves on, he was smiling when he was doing the pads, he smiled when he come into the ring walk, and he smiled throughout the whole 4 rounds. And I thought he boxed really well. He showed some great footwork, and it's no surprise that he's got a background in ballet, the way he was pirouetting around that ring this evening.
Absolutely. Dan, brilliant night of action. Obviously, when are we next back out?
Next week. As always with BCB, busiest promoters in the UK. We're in Dudley next weekend at the venue for Vengeance at the venue, so really looking forward to that one, Paul. So look, at the moment we're just trying to we've got 60 odd fighters in our stable, managed or trained by ourselves and or promoted by us. We've got to get those guys as busy as possible, so we just want to be out there as much as we can, and what we need is the support of everybody. Watch the stream, sponsor our shows, come and watch us. Tickets available at myfighttickets.com. It's all about building BCB and thus building our fighters.
Absolutely. Dan, thank you very much for tonight. Thank you for everyone who's joined in watching at home on the stream. Thank you to my co-commentator Adam Harper, and we'll be back with you soon.
Thank you.